Yo, 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 what's up, y'all? Welcome to another week of Taking High Ground Live. My name is Rob. You can follow me on Instagram at R3Rips. What's up, bro? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm good. Big week for me. My name's Dylan. You guys know me. You know Rob.
Yes,
Excited to be
sir.
back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You pick up
Man,
anything?
no, but I did pick up something, but it doesn't come till next week.
Oh,
And
dang.
on
It's gonna
top
be
of
here.
that, though, before we get into pickups, it's a new season, bro. This is crazy. My God.
You want to jump into the new season. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Matter of
I guess
fact,
I haven't seen you too much on there, but
let's. Oh yeah, I got situated after work. I'll say around 6:30, and I was on probably for the next 3 hours. So yeah, that was a great little session.
oh, that's
Uh
about what time I got off. That's why I didn't see you. I was on I was on all morning.
yeah, when I got
Like I was on all day. I was working,
yeah,
and then like I had times when I was playing and I was working and playing.
yeah.
JT, what's up? Richard, I played with Richard yesterday while we
So
waited. Silverman, what's going on?
so them that new bio, my gosh, bro. That journey is crazy. The city is amazing. It's like Tilted Towers on steroids.
I
It's
honestly like the area that it's in more than
mhm.
the city,
Yeah,
like the
like that the
outside.
surroundings, yeah, the
Yeah, like
surroundings. Yeah.
is it Japanese
Mhm.
themed, like the samurai themed. I
Yeah.
like all those areas
Yeah.
more than the Neo Tilted thing.
Yeah.
I can never find any loot at Neo Tilted, so I land out there and then I just
Really?
go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much loot
That's
everywhere else,
Mega
but
City. Mega City,
Mega
that's what it is.
City.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna call it Neo Tilted, but
Yeah. I didn't like Neo Tilted at all.
this is
At
way better.
all.
This is what we wanted Neo
Yeah.
Tilted to look like.
Yeah. I did because I think what was it? Back then Retail Row had the streams too. Was it Retail Row? Or was it a different I can't remember
Oh,
what
that
other
was,
what POI was that? I can't
I know
remember.
what you're talking about. It wasn't.
I can't remember what it was, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
That
like
was
that
that had the wind
location.
turbines.
I like that location better than Neo Tilted when it came to between those two that
Yeah.
had the futuristic look. JL, what's up?
JL.
Matt
What's going on,
Silverman,
man?
JT, Richard, what's up, y'all?
No, I'm liking it. The pump did not come back, but the Havoc pump came back or
Yeah,
came for the first time, and I
yeah,
like it. I
yeah,
do like it a lot.
yeah. I like it.
Yeah, I have no complaints so
It's a
far.
mythic. It's a mythic of that shotgun that does do
250.
200, 250.
It does
Yeah, it does
250, yeah.
250. But the actual shotgun, I mean, I hate to say it, I used to love the combat shotgun. My
It's
God, that
horrible.
thing is
Like,
terrible. Like
it's
it is
so bad,
terrible.
it made me question why they even have it.
Yeah, no, it's because like you're putting yourself in a rough situation every time you grab that and somebody has the actual shotgun. What's the name of the shotgun again? The new one?
It's the Havoc
The
pump
Havoc. Yeah.
shotgun.
Yeah. I mean, that thing is when it first came out during that John Wick era, that was the bounty hunt. That was amazing. It was an amazing shotgun for that meta to counter. But now it's just I don't refuse to pick it up. You know, sometimes you have to, but I switch it
Mhm.
out as fast as I can for sure.
Battle Pass, what do you think?
I love the battle pass from top to bottom, honestly. I think it's probably one of the most creative ones. That skin in the front, the bunny one, that skin is fire. That
I
skin
so
is fire.
I wasn't hooked on the bunny one until, like, I got in game, I looked at it, and then
Yeah.
I actually turned it around to see how I like the because you don't look at the back of it most of the time,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's kinda dope, I like it. I don't care for, like, the wolf mask version,
Mhm.
but the
Oh,
main
yeah, I agree.
style,
Yeah, me either.
and we haven't gotten the Attack on Titan, mobility yet, but I'm sure
Mhm.
we will at some point.
Yeah.
That's gonna be kinda crazy.
Yeah, I think this battle pass, another Fox Clan member is in there that is not Drift. That is a different member. At least from what do you think? That's a different member,
So
right?
he has the same exact mask, right? If
Yeah.
you look at his
But
different styles, he
yeah,
gets the same pink mask and everything. It's definitely a different person
right.
because I think they're definitely different ethnicity.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's definitely not the same Drift person.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be a different Drift. So maybe I didn't even look at his
So
name.
send look at that look at those pictures I sent you. The tier 100 in the drift or the whoever I forgot his name. What is his name again? I can't remember what it is, but
Stray
Stray. I think Stray in this the tier 100 is sister and brother. So that's interesting and their read up on that is pretty
says
interesting.
restless wanderer Stray left his home to join the Fox Clan as their special ops expert. As tensions grow between the syndicates, Is he ready to face his sister, the Regal Empress?
Right. Then go to the next. Then go to the next
Oh,
one.
and so her name is Mizuki then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mizuki. Reserved Empress Mizuki of the elusive River Guard. Okay, yeah, I see. That's
Now,
pretty interesting. So I mean, that's a
yeah,
whole story you don't know about. And the other thing is, do you know what the Peace Syndicate is?
yeah. The Peace Syndicate is what Evie is in.
Yes.
Evie is a part
So
of this Peace Syndicate. Yep.
yeah, and I don't know what that exactly is.
Right. Yeah.
So we have the Fox Clan, we have the Peace
Mm-hmm.
Syndicate, we have the Seven.
Mm-hmm.
All these different things we don't know about. We need more comics, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Um, but let's get back into
Yeah.
it. But let's just start off the show with
Yeah.
like
Do
what
show
we
your
picked
pickups,
up.
bro. Show your pickups.
It was my birthday, like y'all know, last week, so I got a good amount of pickups to show off. So I got Rocks. She's a
Rocks.
PC of mine,
Mm-hmm.
and she came out season 9.
Mm-hmm.
Neo Tilted. I feel
Yeah.
like
Tilted.
that's kind of ironic. And then I got another one of those.
Yep.
Someone like unloaded a whole bunch of Series 2 shards on
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah.
I was finally able to
Singularity.
pick up a Singularity,
My girl. I love that card, man. And
a
skin.
skin I never was able to get. And I
Red
traded my
Jade.
Red Jade away for my Hush 10. And so
Yep.
I was able to get another Red Jade back. So excited about all those.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for the stuff I like even more than Fortnite cards, this just came in.
You said you like it more than Fortnite cards?
Yes.
Mm.
I like the art. I
Hold
don't
on.
know.
Hold on. This the picture. There you go. Dude, that joint is crazy, bro.
I'm the original comic art. I'm liking more than the Fortnite cards. I like both, like crazy amount. But
Mm-hmm.
the one of one art is just for me top notch.
That page right there, yo, that joint is crazy. That's top tier right there.
And so this is kind of why I want to start collecting Mega Team Leader cards,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't yet. All right, now here's my Grail.
Ooh, that
Told y'all about this
crazy.
last week, and it finally came in, so I had to show it off. I already have the spot behind me that it's gonna go, so you can see right there. It's gonna be right there. It's right next to the
Bro.
original cover. So
I
I'm
love
super
that hand.
excited.
That hand that's in the middle. It just sets it off. That cover. It just has that old school feel, that vintage feel.
Yeah, I like
It's
the
a dope
50. I
cover.
like the 50 cent thing up here. I just like it.
Yeah.
My daughter actually, my 3-year-old put her hand on it, and it was like the same size as her hand right there.
That's funny.
That's immediately what she did. It's in a protective like top loader.
Yeah.
So those were all my pickups, but it was
That's big pickups though. That's big.
it was a big
pickups.
week for me.
Big week.
Let's go. What's going on? JT, Richard, Daniel, Kari.
And
Sticker,
Isaac
what's going
said
on?
blasphemy.
No, I mean I love the cards, but this comic art, the originals, it's like one of ones. I'm just hooked. But that's just me personally. I'm just hooked.
Yeah. Dale, what's
I don't
up? What's
know what
up?
I'm gonna do.
Kari. Yeah, the rail riding is definitely fun, bro. I enjoyed that. I got some pretty dope hits off of that. So okay, wait. But the funny thing is when I first landed at Mega City, I literally went and I didn't know if I could catch myself on the rail. So I jumped down and I could. I was like, okay, I just like could not take having fall damage there.
I
But
was
I was like, that's
nervous.
perfect.
I was nervous about jumping off of it. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm sure there's no fall
I was
damage
like,
jumping
yeah,
off of
like
it, but I was still nervous. So I feel you on that.
yeah, because the movement wouldn't be as clean if you could take fall damage from that. Like, if you didn't have the opportunity to
It'd
catch
be more
yourself.
scary, I
Yeah,
guess. But
yeah.
maybe they should.
Kind of high risk, high reward. Then
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Richard sent off his PSA sub. That's a sub, Richard. I gotta send a couple off too, honestly, before
So
March is over.
I don't know why, but my chat is going super slow. Is yours?
No,
Mine
it's
loaded all in at once. So I don't know what you want to talk about today, but
yeah.
I definitely want to talk about the Panini cards.
Oh yeah, that's at the top of the list. I think we should probably dang. I mean, should we jump into that first? Yeah. I looked and see if it was any major sales. It wasn't really anything. So I think we can kind of go from there. Yeah, let's go in. Let's
So
get into it.
a member of the Facebook group posted about it, and I asked him to post it in the forum.
Yeah.
Um, David, right? And
Hmm.
so he went ahead and posted it in the Fortnite card forum so that anybody can see it and it's searchable by Google.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna open up the emails here. Everything should be blocked out. He says he basically emailed online sales and Panini America, like talking to online sales, a lot of times you get good information from them. So I know a lot of people were like having feedback, like they don't know that's just the salespeople.
Yeah.
But like the Panini shop is not that big.
Hmm.
Like people think it's like 100, like different people and running around. It's not that big.
Hmm.
So like I think this is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Um, Someone said that they said Fortnite instead of like NITE,
Yeah.
which is like an honest mistake, when you're writing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. For sure.
So it's not like they had their hand in making the cards.
Especially
They
if you're
just
just doing your if you're doing your job and you're not informed on that specific sector of it, it
yeah.
makes sense.
So I'm not worried about them. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. Now I was reading this and saying, could they be saying we would not be releasing any more Fortnite cards for like Series 3? Maybe they
Mhm.
misunderstood because the email didn't go back and forth for very long and it's not
Yeah.
very specific. So I don't know if like maybe they thought that he was saying, are there any Series 3 cards?
Hmm.
So although this is kind of confirmation there is no more because he said signed contract with Epic Games,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It could I think that means it's over, but I'm just saying there is a possibility we're misunderstanding what they're saying.
Yeah. I think it means it's over too. But I agree. Like
Yeah.
it could just be the way the wording looked. But let's go with the hypothetical if it's over. Let's go with that. Um.
That's what I want to base it off on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there were some other emails which I think are less important. So the Epic Game support,
Hmm.
they were talking about we all use the same information.
Hmm.
That information may not be what like higher ups have planned out.
Right.
So I don't this support for like Epic Games,
Yeah.
which is a much bigger company than Panini America for like that for Panini America, that
Hmm.
one instance.
Yeah.
So I don't think, and they support like players and all this kind of stuff. So I don't trust this as much as I trust the Epic email. I mean the
Right.
Panini email.
Right.
So take that's just my opinion on the
So
subject for those.
okay. So the way I think we should set this up is in the chat, whether you are strictly investor, strictly collector, collector slash investor, whatever you label yourself as, give your perspective from there on what this means to you being in this hobby. And me and Dylan will talk on our what we feel about this. So what do you feel about it overall, bro?
So I mean, like you said, we have collectors who watch, and we also
Yeah.
have mostly investors. And I think that for the most part, most of the people in cards are like investors
Hmm.
because we're so early,
Yeah.
right? There's a good amount of like actual players and fans of the Fortnite game and stuff like that are collectors.
Yeah.
But for those, I'm more worried about. Like for me, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I literally like making money off of it is the second option for me,
Hmm.
right? In the future.
Hmm.
I really like to collect it. I want more stuff. Do I think
JP.
the price is going to go up, even though we're not? I don't care too much about the investment. Like obviously, I care, right? It's more fun to collect something that grows in value.
Yeah.
Um, I think that the nostalgia is baked in,
Hmm.
and I think that this is the only collectible, even through the comics.
Hmm.
This is the only collectible where you can focus on your one skin.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people who like who's like, oh, there's cards. Like I've said this before. Um, Specifically one of the ones for the prototype that I have, Bullseye.
Hmm.
Someone asked me in the Reddit when I posted it like 2 years ago, oh, do they have a Bullseye? There's no collectibles for Bullseye, and that's my favorite skin.
Hmm.
So no matter what, cards are a great way to collect your favorite skin and that baked in nostalgia. So I
Yeah.
think in like 10 years, they're still gonna be worth a lot of money because they're gonna be so rare.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. It's not investment advice. I don't think it's gonna affect it. I think too much. I think in the short term,
Hmm.
prices may go down because this community right now is getting what they want, and there might be more cards than there are
Yeah.
collectors at this moment. So I think we might get what we all wanted. which is
Mm-hmm.
like more time to
More
build
time.
our
Yeah.
collection.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we'll get more money, more investment later on.
Yeah. I agree with that whole statement. For me, it's crazy because I think people think I'm playing when I say this. I am so far from having what I want in my collection. Like, I mean, like absolutely far. Like, I have a lot of work to do. So in that instance, is one of those situations where I think, because I'm not talking about just from my standpoint, it's interesting to see how people will navigate through this. And the reason why I say that is uh Kev right here, he just posted, he just pulled a BK. What was that, yesterday or today? I think it was today, but it's 4 a.m. where he's at right now. So I'm gonna say yesterday. So he just pulled a BK. And the reason why I bring that up is because hypothetically speaking, right? Let's say it all burns. Like everybody, like if people panic sell and this is all the case, what is BK's floor? I think that's an interesting conversation. What is the number where if investors and some collectors leave and the auction pops up, let's just go with that. Let's go to PSA 9 Black Knight USA shot, right? What is the floor of that card? Because for me, that's the kind of the way I look at it. Whether collector or investor, I look at what is BK's floor, and like if it, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, if he goes under a certain X number, is that, does that mean that the hobby is dead? And I'm talking from the outside in. Does that mean that the hobby is dead? How do people view that? What is BK's floor? What do you feel about that?
See, the way you worded that made me think of something completely different. I have no idea what his floor is,
Mm-hmm.
right? To find his floor, we have to figure out like how many diamond hands, as they were saying in the chat, we have,
Mm-hmm.
like high rollers, who are willing to fight over these, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, I think there's barely what we can pull up the pop report.
37.
Yeah, and when you're saying BK, you're talking about the shard, right?
Yep. 37. I think 14 at BGS, and then I can't remember what was at SGC.
I would say the absolute floor for the BK, which is the top card in Fortnite cards right now.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, this is a floor price. I'd say 3K.
Heck no. You think so?
No, I'm saying like I don't think it could
So
ever
you
go
think it,
below
you
3
saying, yeah, that's
because like even I would find money. I don't collect
all,
BK.
it's scrapping
I'd
it, right?
I'd find some money to buy
You're like,
it.
yo, yeah,
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That would be the absolute floor
Mm-hmm.
for some reason. But like I don't think it'll reach that. I'm just saying.
So yeah, and I think that, so for me, the reason why I brought this up, I think this is an interesting conversation. Obviously, you can see the chat is responding, is because that's the way I always look at it. Like, I think that there's going to be a lot of cards that is going to, they're going to fall, right?
Yeah.
They're going to fall, and I'm talking on the investment lens. This is not investment advice. Obviously, I'm mainly a collector, but I'm talking about in general of what we collect. A lot of them are going to fall, but when we
Hmm.
look at a BK or a Pilly, it's like I just cannot see that card hitting like the, if I had to give my opinion on the floor of a 10, I would say 20K. Like just
Oh
based
no,
off,
I was first of all I was
no, I
talking
know you was
raw.
talking about a nine.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
was
talking
talking
about
raw.
raw? Oh, raw?
Yeah, I
Oh
was
yeah.
talking raw 3K. I'm
Okay,
not talking
yeah.
about like so like Shardnock just said a PSA 4 maybe. Um but I was talking about raw.
Oh, because I said PSA 9. That's the only reason why. Okay. So you're
Oh,
talking about
okay,
raw.
my
Yeah,
bad. I
yeah,
didn't hear
no.
the PSA 9 part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes it from pour over. No, I was talking about raw. I thought you said we were just talking about like the floor. I
Yeah.
mean, PSA 9, I don't want to talk about PSA 9 versus PSA 10 because, like we said before, I think the prices are all messed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the separation between a 9 and a 10 and Fortnite cards specifically
Mm-hmm.
is too far
It's a major
because they're
gap.
way too rare for the cracked ice cards for them to be that far distance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and like other sports, I mean, other hobbies like sports and stuff,
Yeah.
because of how much the pop is, that's why there's a bigger like gap. I feel like, and
Yeah.
like for Fortnite, there's just like, and there's only going to be 60 Black Knight shards.
Mm-hmm.
9 and 10 are going to both be really expensive for whoever can afford them. Now, I'm talking
And
about raw. It's like how many heavy hitters do we have in the hobby?
yeah.
And like if there are no more sets coming out, more heavy hitters probably aren't going to jump in right away. So that's why I
Yeah.
was saying the 3K floor because you're going to be looking at actual collectors and how many of those collectors are going to have 3K during the
Yeah.
current market. So
Hmm.
that's where I got that from.
Yeah, and I think that's I think that's always the interesting standpoint because I think so. For instance, somebody said in the Facebook group, which I like the comment and where his head was. He was talking about he feels that a lot of collectors or investors, whatever side you fall on, have the cards that they want, and I actually get where he's coming from, but I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of people in this hobby right now that still are searching for certain cards, including
Hmm.
myself, and I
What am
think
I
that
searching for, chat? Y'all know what
yeah,
I'm.
yeah, and I think that's kind of what makes it. Oh, I'm sorry, I just seen JT comment. Not really. I think we have to talk about both, JT. I think growth and floors is important because I think that both are going to happen. I think Shar brought it up. I don't think we've ever really seen a true dip in Fortnite cards. Like we've seen super high highs and we've seen a correct, but I don't think we've seen
I
like
mean, we're at a pretty big dip, in my
but I think we're
opinion.
back. I think we're back to where 2021 prices were, right? And what I mean, and what I'm listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
See, because the reason why I say that is because what we have to remember is at a given time, the grading companies were closed, right? And a lot of cards weren't graded. A lot of cards weren't graded, and so once those cards got back, that's when the correction started happening. Obviously, if you look at the actual prices, uh, there may be showing that we are still lower than that, but I do think for the most part, like I think about the I can't remember what it was. I think it was Sparkle Specialist. I got her hollow for like 100 raw back in
Okay.
2021. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'll agree on that. I say we've seen
Mm-hmm.
a tiny dip on hollows, and we're back to like the 2021 for that.
Mm-hmm.
But shard wise, we're way down.
Yeah.
And the reason I know that is because like I sold raw cards
Mm-hmm.
for like 3x what they're
Yeah.
going for in PSA 9,
Yeah.
right? So like cracked ice cards are a good amount down. That's why I'm seeing like Aura sell for what she sold for.
Yeah.
And although I know I've been talking up Aura a lot, and maybe that
Yeah.
has to do with it, but like seeing Black Knight sell,
Yeah.
The Red Knight PSA 9 sale
Mm-hmm.
in this current market, which I'm not a holder of, was like crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, so a Red Knight cracked ice sold for almost as much as a PSA 10
Mm-hmm.
or and that Red Knight was PSA 9,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the PSA 10 would probably have done way more. It probably doubled Aura, right?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Lux did really good.
Yep.
Um, so there's some cards that are holding strong, like Shardneck was saying. Like the Fortnite cards I mean, they're so rare that like
Mhm.
our small hobby is enough ecosystem
Yeah.
for them not to drop out. Where like
100%.
sports, it's like there's so many different cards, so many people to collect, and so many different products, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like most of them are literally in it for the money.
Yep.
And I think as someone else said, I think JL said up here that he
Mm-hmm.
started as an investor, but then he fell for the cards.
Love that.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, when I saw the Fortnite cards, I was like, oh, that's probably lame. But then I saw the cracked dice, I was like, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
that's tight. That's gonna be big in the future. So I
Yeah.
started buying them, and then instantly I was hooked because I'm a big Fortnite player. So I was like, now I'm a collector, right? Not even
Yeah.
an investor, I'm a collector. But
Yeah.
like I wanted to invest in the beginning.
Yeah.
So if that happened to me, it can happen to anybody, really.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of sum up what Nick and Shard is saying right here because I know Shard is gonna specifically remember this. It was a time where I bring it up a lot when Probstein did that raw auction for the shards back in like 2 summers ago. And I mean, like, I'll bring up one because it was one I was specifically looking at. Deadfire went for like 500, 600 raw. And it was because that was the first time that many crystal shards showed up at once in a long time, if ever, at that point for our auction. And I think the ties have changed. I think that's the interesting part about it is that everybody's seen and felt how rare these cards was and how hard they were to pull. So that
Hmm.
original resistance was because like everybody's like, yo, I can't just let this go after everything I went to even pull this card. And so once they started circulating from people that was willing to let it go, that's when you seen them first spikes in prices. And then obviously with the economy and all of those things, they had the correction. But it's a very interesting time in Fortnite cards in general, even
We
without this information that came out.
we have a lot of comments in here that I don't want to miss some of these.
Yeah.
Let me go back. I want to answer. Gosh. All right. Wait. Where is
I
it?
know it's a lot.
Um. All right. I want to answer Chardonnay. Are you comparing or ice to release prices or 6 months after when priests clarify that? Because like that was. I want to clarify what I was talking about there. I'm not sure what you're asking. Um. Yeah, the pop has gone up. There was another one that Nick said. Um. I mean, Peely. So what did the? I can't remember the Peely 10 sales. Do you remember them? I remember that Red Knight PSA 10 sold for 11K. I remember that clearly
Because the
back in
Pilly,
like around 2021.
yeah. Because
Um,
was the highest Pilly sell 22p? Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of what the Pilly sell was
I thought it was in
because
like the 10K range, but I
yeah,
could be wrong. I can't remember exactly. Um, and
10K.
like,
Yep, the 10K. Yeah.
so there are literally twice as many Charizards, Shadowless as there are. Yeah, that's crazy. Just looking at Pokemon Pop in general, and
Mhm.
then that gets into Ant's question or Ant's comment about there's only 2,000 in the group.
Mhm.
Now, here's the thing about the Facebook group. I'm not a mod. I know some people think I am, but
Mhm.
we are in the Facebook group, but we're not like part of the Facebook group. Like we don't
Yeah.
mod it. Um, I do know they've like I've talked to Daniel and them before, and they said that they turn away a lot of people. So the
Mhm.
Facebook group is very active. Because I think we have one of the best Facebook groups out there. Like
Mhm.
everyone's like into it. Everyone's a great hobby. Everyone helps each other, and
Mhm.
that has to do with the mods who deny some of these people that they don't think are good for the hobby, or they think that like they're fake accounts and stuff like that. So I don't know how many accounts they're denying, compared to how many accounts other places lit in.
Mhm.
But with that said, it's a very small hobby right now,
Mhm.
but because the cards are so rare and they fit nostalgia so well, that's where the prices are at where they're at, right? If
Yeah.
we hit Pokemon levels, it'd be crazy. Who knows if that will ever happen?
Yeah.
But if we hit a million people in a group for like Fortnite cards,
Mhm.
there'd be nothing. There'd be nothing. No cracked ice for sale.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah. I agree with that. And Shar said if we just cut the entry off today, the market will remain the same because it's mainly collectors still wanting to add a lot more. And I definitely agree with that.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because if you do look at that 2.7K that's in the Facebook group, and if you want to, let's just widen that because we don't know every collector that collects Fortnite. Let's just tack on an extra 2-3K, right? Let's just say it's about 5 to 6 thousand collecting total. We don't know what the number is because we also have the Brazil and the Italy market, the overseas market as well. But with that interest, I just think a lot of people don't have in their collection what they want to have in their collection. And if the opportunity, and JT brought up before, should we talk about the growth and not the floor? The reason why I bring up the floor, JT, is because me personally, the collector I am, that's what I have to look at. I have to look at the
Yes.
opportunity that's gonna come. Like it's certain cards that I'm priced out of, and I'm like, okay, if it hits this price, that's where I can play ball. I can't play ball in this market, A, B,
See,
and C, and that's kind of where it gets interesting for me.
That's what I like about the floor is I think that the if we don't get another set, like
Mhm.
if this email is correct and Panini does not have a contract with Epic Games and there is no Series 4, I think that within like the next year or two, however long it takes for another set to come out,
Mhm.
to like because once Epic Games like does what they do with the comics,
Mhm.
once they push it and they like get a free code from the cards, that's it. Like it's gonna be a horde of people going to get the cards, and so many collectors are gonna enter the hobby.
Yeah.
So I feel like now we have that time to collect. So I think we're gonna start seeing the floor, and
Yeah.
that's why I think it's a good conversation because now we can figure out what the floor is, what can we buy and hold that we want.
Yeah.
I think now is gonna be the time because I think after a year, 2 years, whenever they release another set and start pushing it,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be wraps, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Mhm. I mean, you've seen it. I think Nick has something. It's like you said, it's a lot of comments. I'm trying to
Yeah, there's a lot of comments. If you
so
guys
Nick,
are on Twitch, you can find us
yeah,
on YouTube too. Just type in "Taking High Ground." You can see the chat from everybody else in here. I don't
yeah.
think Twitch can see the chat from YouTube. Just
Okay.
FYI.
Got you. So Nick was pretty much bringing up that Pilly technically never had a dip
Yeah,
because
yeah. I wanted to say that, which is
which
true.
is
I think
very
that's
true.
accurate.
Yeah, because I remember even sales where y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. It was a couple sales. I don't know, was it raw that was like seven? It was around 7K ish that he sold raw at one point. So he's legit never really had a dip. And even on the instance of Red Knight, right? If we look at that 11K Red Knight sale, Red Knight doesn't pop up too often. Like it's a lot. I know a couple private sales that happen, but Red Knight, as in like an auction or
Hmm.
best offer, it just is certain cars that just do not pop up often. And I've had a lot of messages over the past week that people were surprised that Red Knight sold for 2K as a PSA 9. I said, first of all, the card is beautiful. It's Red Knight, a legendary, and on top of that, I said you just don't see the card often, and that's what's going to come into play
And
all the time.
exactly, and that's when you start paying more for it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm trying to figure out other cards like we're talking about Aura because I always talk about Aura, but like
Mhm,
there's like 4 or 5, 4 maybe PSA
mhm,
10s on eBay,
mhm.
right? You
Yeah.
know, so it's like no one's buying those because there's so many on eBay right now,
Mhm.
right? Because like I remember this with the pump, right? Red
Yeah.
Knight, you didn't see Red Knight forever. Peely, you never see a good Peely. Once a Peely goes on eBay, that's like
It's
an actual
gone.
price, not like a $50,000
It's
price.
gone.
Is like people are in it bidding on it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So it's like what other cards don't you see? It's like Sparkle Specialist had that effect. Um,
Yep.
I mean, there's so many. It's like Gold Trooper. Like there's
Yep.
one on there now for the SGC 9.
Yeah.
But like if you see one go for auction, those things are going to get ran up. I think
Yeah. Wes, what's up? What's up? And then wait, where was it? So oh yeah, go ahead.
we got the same thought process here.
Yep.
Um, so I think that's going to happen if we actually get another set. It's definitely going to be like that.
Mhm.
Who knows if it's going to be as rare as these sets? I doubt it.
Oh,
The way that Panini did the form. I know everyone's like, "Oh, I wish Tops did it. Oh, I wish that." I don't care what anybody says. Panini did an amazing job on all 3 sets,
mhm.
in my opinion. In my honest opinion,
I
they did an amazing job.
I agree. I will say I've said this probably the past 6 episodes. I will say if Epic wanted to play ball and really get into this, right? I do feel I don't know. I'm not talking about the car. I do feel the system that Upper Deck has with the e-packs and the system they've
Mhm.
already created. I think Epic and Upper Deck could probably have a very legit conversation of how they can make it work when it comes to linking it with the game. That doesn't have to happen. This is just thinking of
But I mean, think
hypotheticals.
about the skins. If they did the
Yeah,
skin codes, it makes kind of sense, right?
yeah,
That they'd
yeah.
have that kind of technology in there. I mean, Panini sounded like they wanted to do that too. What I
Hmm.
liked about Panini and what they did is from the beginning, which a lot of people did not catch on. I caught on instantly, right?
Yeah,
Is and I know this for a fact because it was in the interview with the
yeah.
guy who was running the cards, but they
Hmm.
were talking about how it's not about what's rare, epic, or legendary. He said it's like each skin like has a fan base, and that's what the guy who was running it was
Hmm.
saying. So like someone could be a huge fan of like red jade that I bought or rocks that I bought, right?
Yeah.
So it's not about what's just legendary. Legendaries can be great too, but like the print run, you can still get an uncommon card and have
Hmm.
a short print run, like the
Hmm.
cracked ice for any of those. And I thought
Hmm.
that was the perfect way to do it. Don't make just the legendary skins rare. Make them all rare,
Hmm.
right?
And I agree with that 100%. Where was it? I think JL had one. Yeah,
Oh, my bad. I just took that
yeah.
off.
I think it was this one. So JL says so these first three series are irreplaceable. The fact that if they continue with another printing company, that the first 3 series will be extremely minty and that these were the original prints. And I completely agree with that. Is I think we all agree that we feel something when it comes to if it's cut off with these 3 series, we know that it's gonna come back in some shape or form. We don't know when. Like we said, it could be next year, it could be 5 years. We don't know what the case is when it comes to when somebody picks it up or if Epic
Mhm.
decides to play ball with it. We don't know what happens, but we can all agree that these first 3 sets will be in a whole different realm when it comes to what we see as a
It's
collectible.
it's gonna be hard for any set that comes out to beat the rarity of this set
Yeah,
and how
yeah.
good these cards look. So even if it doesn't come out, like I said before, like a skin, like if you're a Red Jade fan, like
Hmm.
I like Red Jade, but I like the blue version,
Hmm.
right? If you're a Red Jade fan and you like to collect stuff, where are you gonna get a Red Jade? You gonna get a Red Jade Pop, Funko Pop? Not out there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like that is a big factor in my opinion. Um, and this being one of the first ones, like that's cool. Like if your whole squad ran this and you showed them, oh, they'd be like, oh, that's dope.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think what's also unique is that I say this word a lot also, but the aesthetic of the card, and the reason why I bring this up is I think that Fortnite has the perfect blend. What happens in the game and then what the market loves, like it makes the whole set valuable. You get what I mean? So if you
Hmm.
look at a series 2 or if you look at a series 1, see series 1, every card is in play because of how beautiful those cards are and how hard they were and how the condition sensitive they are. But and then you add the game factor in there. I think that the ones that's strictly investors and then the ones that's collectors and then the ones that's both, it makes the whole set important compared to other sectors of the hobby where it may be one or two cards that's a big hit. There's a
Hmm.
lot of hits. They may be on different levels, but there's a lot of things that you could probably get excited about when it comes to Fortnite cards, no matter what side you're on.
So I don't think that the mega box matters. The only reason mega box matters today because that's where you get the rare cracked ice cards,
Right.
right? That's the only reason mega boxes matter. So if it goes to Epic Games, they make their own. There's gonna
Hmm.
be some kind of hit, right? Whenever you have
Yeah.
trading cards, like that's the allure is like trying to hit something. So even if it's not a mega box, it's gonna be so in those most card hobbies, it's not a mega box. It's a
Yeah.
hobby box. That's
Hmm.
where you get your hit is
Right.
buying a hobby box. So, like, if it went to somebody else, it would not be a mega box. It would probably most likely be a hobby box that you want
Hmm.
to get. Um, some people might might get confused by that because the hobby boxes right now are kind of trash.
Yeah. And I do think like I think and I keep going back to this because I don't know if people know about the upper deck e-packs, but what happens is so when you open the upper deck e-packs, right?
Hmm.
All of them have physical cards. So when you open the cards up, they immediately are with they go to ComC. So you open the packs and then they're with ComC and then ComC can either post it on eBay for you or they can ship the physical card to you. And as you collect them, you can tear up to different cards, like you can complete sets. And I genuinely think that if I really believe, bro, that they could do something great together. I really do. If they do it by themselves, that's cool. But if they wanted to have people that understand the hobby to some extent, some people may not feel that's the best option. But if they wanted to bring somebody in, I think that the partnership with Upper Deck could really work.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense,
Hmm.
and there's got to be a reason that Epic Games did not want to include Fortnite skin codes in the cards for
Yeah.
Panini. Like, there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
They use it with everything. They use it with Nintendo. They use it with PlayStation. They
Hmm.
use it with freaking Galaxy phones, right? It's like a
Yeah.
low cost way for them to make extra money.
Hmm.
And so, like, why wouldn't they do that? There's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because they're saving that allure for
Hmm.
when they release the set.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. I don't know what their contract was
Hmm.
with Panini, but, like, maybe they think, "Oh, we make merch for our employees. We can, like, make a lot more profit if we keep it in-house." They
Hmm.
do a lot of their stuff in-house.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of their, like, animations, their, like, creation stuff, they hire freelancers, but they do a lot of it in-house.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I don't really want anyone else to do it. If Panini's not doing it, I kinda want Epic Games to step up and do it.
Yeah, and I
I wanna
think
see what they can do.
see because in my eyes they still have to, and which I agree with you. And my thing is, who do they hire to help understand that the hobby? You get what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting. I'm like, I agree 100%. Let Epic Games do it, but who do they bring in that understands how this hobby works? And is it a Fanatics? Is it Upper Deck? Is it whatever other options are out there? And I don't quote me on this. Is Flair under Upper Deck? Are they under the same umbrella? I can't remember.
I
Somebody
can't remember. I'm
somebody
sure
correct
I'm
me on that.
sure one of them knows.
Yeah.
Sharknot probably knows. I agree that I'm glad there's no codes to this point.
Yeah.
I would
Right.
I would go I mean, I think the same effect would have happened, but we proved them wrong without it, which is
Hmm.
a good thing. But, like, as long as the cards were as good as they are now and were collectible like that, and, like,
Yeah.
they weren't, like, cheesy with the codes,
Hmm.
then I think it still would have had that effect. The reason why I like that there's no codes now, it's kept people away,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
only to a certain extent because, like, you go to your Target when there's a release and there's no more left. Like,
Yep.
you can't buy any project. I can buy so many sports, can't buy
Hmm.
any Fortnite, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I agree with that, Dylan. And I think that's how we all feel. I think I know there's a lot of people even in this chat right now that are trying to complete some crazy sets, trying to do some, and this is the time. But I also said last week that I think this is going to become a time of appreciating everything that happened in Fortnite. Like I think because I'm not gonna lie, I still have a resistance when it comes to the zoomed out cards. When it comes to S3, I don't, bro. I don't like. I love it for the lasers, but when it comes to the cracked ice, I don't jump at it. Like
Mhm.
I'm just so used to S1 and S2, and I'm glad that they changed it because it gives that extra to S1 and S2. But I think as time goes on, so let's say we don't see it for another year. I don't think I would even think about that when it comes to S3 because those are the sets that we have, and we will appreciate them even more.
See, like for me, I focus like on the skins. Like I don't care. Like I get that they're different, right?
Hmm.
But like you saw how you guys saw what my PSA return was. Like I went for the ones I liked. I went for the
Hmm.
skins that I think are great skins, and I went heavy on those.
Yeah.
Um, I don't care too much about the other factors, even though I get the rarity. Like Series One, Series Two rarity is crazy. In terms of like visual, they're both great. You know, I mean, Series One, Series Two, I think are better, but like not enough for me to like discount Series Three, like a
And
lot
it's
of
not
people
even
are.
it's a, I think for me, it's like, I genuinely, I would be lying if I said it wasn't a major difference to me between S1, S2 compared to S3. But I guess it's just a preference thing. Like I really do. I love that. I think you just can see the skins a little bit more. And
Hmm.
but I do
That's
think
true.
I think they picked the right poses for certain skins to make it look the right way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like Midas pose works really well. Obviously the focus, even skins like Suki. Uh I love the red knights on that skin and not
The
frozen
Black
fish
Knight's
state.
pose
Yeah, like
works
it's
perfect in Series One.
exactly.
The
So
Black
that's
Knight's pose would not have been as cool in Series Three as it is in Series One.
right. That's
Like,
yeah.
I agree with that. Now I want to talk about this, like, because I was thinking about this, Kari. Now, you guys know I go crazy with these theories, but there's no, I don't really care too much about the Reaper. Like, I'm gonna discount that one. But
Reaper. Oh my god.
I
I
think it's a
would
great
love
skin, but I don't think it's in the same thing as like Renegade.
oh Reaper?
Renegade, like Renegade, Pink Gold Trooper, Purple Skull Trooper. What are some of those other like super like unreleased ones like that? Why
Reaper.
aren't those?
Reaper.
Why aren't those in here? Like this is a good question. They want to control that,
For
right?
sure. For sure.
Like why are
Yeah.
those not in the cards? Now, some of these were in Reloaded.
Mhm.
Reloaded was only released in UK,
Mhm.
not in America where Epic Games is located. Why? Does
Mhm.
Epic Games not to plan to release them internationally? I don't know,
Yeah.
but maybe they are saving them. You know,
I
I
do,
don't know.
yeah, I do know. I think we can all agree. There's some we can't just act like it's nothing to that because
That's strange,
is
right?
it to go like I get it being put out of series one, right? But there was, as we seen with some of the prototype cards, there was a lot of cards that was put out of series one. Some of them ended up making it in a set, but to be at series three, including Reloaded, and there's nothing besides, I
Like
mean, besides
why
Renegade and Reloaded, that's pretty crazy.
why would they take Renegade out of the series set?
Yeah, yeah.
No, no, yeah, I'm not trying to discount. I'm not trying to discount him. I was trying to discount him in like the type of skin. Does that
Hmm.
make sense? Like that how you unlocked it. Like how
What
you
tier
unlocked
100?
yeah, but like for like Purple Skull Trooper, Pink Gold Trooper, and Renegade were like unique unlocks within it. You know, they weren't just like a tier 100 skin. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? That's the category I was putting them in. Reaper is a crazy OG skin. I get that. That's just like I was just talking about the kind
mhm.
of category those are in. Like for to get Renegade Raider, you had to do something special for the
Seasonal. It
shop.
was the seasonal shop.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
seasonal shop item. It's a little bit different. You had to have like for Gold Trooper, you had to buy it during then, so
Mhm.
it's a little bit different. Um, yeah, Reaper was definitely. I still
Yo,
Reaper
Shard.
is still.
Yeah.
I never got Reaper for some reason.
No, I regret not doing season three a whole lot. But it's funny. Wouldn't it be crazy if they negotiated individually on on each skin, and Renegade was out of the equation? Like, obviously he's playing when it comes to Renegade's agent didn't let him. But what if that was a thing where it's like, yo, This
What?
skin is it's a no go. It's not happening with this
I
one.
think that's like Booga. Like I
Yeah.
think Booga owns the right to his skin.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was able to print it on that card for the giveaway.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we'll see a Booga skin in the Fortnite cards unless they get permission from him.
And it was interesting. I was watching Laserbeam had an interview, and they get about 5%. They get about 5% on their skin. But there's we was actually talking about this separately. I think each icon skin has a different negotiation. Like even when it comes
It
to the like I
depends on
think
their camp.
yep, exactly.
Mhm.
I think what Cypher PK did compared to what a Booga or a Loser Fruit or any of them, I think all of theirs is different.
Mhm.
You can kind of tell by the rollout as well. Like Cypher had a strong hand in how his skin was rolled out, and you could tell that the NIL name, image, likeness conversation was very strong on certain skins, and then it
Mhm.
seems like the first at bat probably got short end of the stick, probably besides Ninja.
So I'm here stuck on like this whole Renegade Raider thing, the Purple Skull Trooper thing. Um, some rare skins I got into the game are like Galaxy and Glow.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
They did let those in. So like, do
Hmm.
they not care enough about them?
No, I don't think that's the case. I just think that Renegade is a different tier. I think that there is a different tier. It means a little bit more to the game. It kind of has fan nuance, but it also, as we've seen when it came to the comic books, it has a little bit more going to it. So I think that's where it kind of gets interesting when it comes to skins like Renegade. But then you have a aerial assault trooper as well. It's interesting that it was a lot of season one skins that kind of got the boot.
See, I've been talking to Rob about this kind of stuff a lot lately, for other reasons, but I don't think that's accurate. The only
Mm-mm.
way I think if he has a connection with Epic Games and they gave him permission, then 100% yes. But that's not how copyright law works. Even
Mm-hmm.
if so, the reason why is because I've been doing a lot of research on this. Is even if he prints the cards and he makes no money off of it,
Mm-hmm.
releasing those cards limits the profit if they sold those cards later
Mm-hmm.
because they got them out into the market. You don't have to make money from it for it to be infringement of copyright law. It's
Yeah.
because you're taking away possible sales from them if they
Yeah.
ever do. Like the demand may be less because you gave these away.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not exactly true.
Yeah. And
But he has a relationship with them. He 100% could get permission to do that.
yeah,
So that is true.
and just so you and if y'all want to know the number for average, I was listening to Cypher PK. Laserbeam also said it. It's about they get 5% per purchase of their skin, and that's the beginning of the like what that was of that contract or whatever the case may be. But they get 5% on that, which is pretty insane. I would love to see them numbers chopped up, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, no one goes after them. Yeah, that's another thing. Like copyright
Mhm.
law, it's like they have to go after them. I
Yeah,
doubt they're gonna go after Buka for doing that. Um, so that is true. I was just saying
yeah.
that isn't. It's still illegal, but they don't really go after it. Just like comic artists, I agree.
Yo, this is funny because Shar said, Shar said, could you imagine negotiating against BK? Sir, take off that helmet and look me in my eyes during this discussion. That's funny. Yo, yeah, BK is he a real one. I don't know if they want that negotiation right there. Give him what he want. Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if I care too much about because they did do maps with like season two.
I thought of that
I
too.
mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
series two, but like the scar, I don't really. They released the pump.
But that goes to Joey's. I think that goes to Joey's point. It's interesting that they did. I've always thought that as well. Like, great that they released the pump, but doing like the semi-auto over like the Scar and over the heavy, and then even the maps, like the opportunity they had with the maps when it came to Tilted. Like, I'm like, yo, how didn't they put Tilted in there? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, because the only one that I really immediately connected with was Pleasant Park. Like, that was the first one. Like,
Hmm.
I like since the beginning of time. And if you know anything about it, Pleasant Park kind of made its way through most of the maps, in
Yeah,
chapters besides the recent ones.
retail row.
Yeah, Retail Row. I mean, it's so many uh that really have that. But I was surprised that Tilted and things like the Scar, the Heavy, the Deagle, things like that wasn't hand cannon that wasn't in there.
So
That was surprising to me.
the question is, did Panini pick what they wanted to do and
Right,
then present it to Epic Games, and then they
right.
turned them down? Because if that's the case, then it's okay. They may pick the AR over the Scar without knowing,
That's what I
right?
think happened.
That's what
That
I think
yeah,
happened too.
yeah.
But then they picked Renegade Raider, and then when they presented it, they took Renegade Raider out. That's crazy. I
Mhm.
mean, it's easy for Panini to do enough research to figure out that Renegade Raider should be in the set,
Yeah.
and they put her in the set, and then the prototypes, and then it got taken out.
Mhm.
That was an epic decision, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that was strange. They've
And
got to be doing something weird.
I like what Shar was saying on this. Is pretty much she's just saying that we can't, it's always important to remember that we're early, what it would look like 5 to 10 years from now. And to add on to that, it's crazy that we kind of forget that Fortnite released in 2017. The cards came out in 2019 during chapter 1, season 8. Season 8 came out about 4 or 5 months before. Obviously, I think it might have been like 3 months before that. It was about to end, but it was a 2-year window. So it's crazy because we're kind of going along with the tide of Fortnite. It's just it was a 2-year gap in between when the game released and when the cards came out. And
Hmm.
so not only were people trying to figure out what cards was the card, it was just not, it was everybody was still getting used to the changes that were happening in Fortnite as well. Like it was going
There
through a
was
major shift during that time.
technically no comics, no story.
Yeah, it
You
was
know what I mean?
it
There's a lot that was like has yet happened, right?
right. We had, I mean, like during that time, let's just go down what happened. Obviously, the visitor hit the map. You had the singularity and Mecha team leader. You had Ice King. You had Ruin. You had these moments that, and obviously, it's a lot more in there, but it wasn't a lot of story yet, and the story was just unfolding. Like the drum gun was unvaulted during the butterfly event. It just
Hmm.
wasn't a lot at that time. It was pretty
Yeah.
crazy to see.
Now, see, this is interesting because this is how I kind of think about it. Um, oh, I need to bring this up. JL mentioned it earlier. I forgot to mention it. Whenever I see like cards where I think there's like could be a lot of demand for, but
Yeah.
there's like seems to be like a lot of supply, you
Hmm.
notice that people are hesitant to buy it,
Great point.
right? So
Yeah.
people are hesitant to buy it because they think, oh, there's so much and no one collects it. Reloaded is a perfect example. Like it's so easy to pull cards from Reloaded. There's, you know what I mean? It's like
Mhm,
so many in those packs, right?
mhm,
And they're not that rare. But at the same time, people are gonna like that in the future. They're gonna want those, right?
mhm,
And it may seem like a lot now, but you could just be throwing away cheap shares, like just like Microsoft. You could be throwing away cheap shares. And the same thing is, so we were talking about the DKV cards, right?
mhm,
And JL mentioned this to me, and I never noticed this, and I don't think I have any. On the pack of the card, I
mhm,
think those it said that they were printed in China.
mm,
I noticed that this week, right? And I guess then this shipped to Peru. So whatever card collecting company that doesn't affect my mind of it
mhm,
because I really like it and it's licensed. As long as it's licensed, that's what I really care about.
mhm.
Um, but no, like they're pretty cheap, right? And like you can get them for like $20. You can get a card you want, right? But at the same
Yeah.
time, if it's the 0 point comic and you get a 10 and no one's buying them because there seems to be a good amount out there,
Mhm.
that could be a missed opportunity. Not
Yeah.
investment advice. I'm just saying. The same thing we have with Series 1, Series 2, Series 3 is just because there's a good supply out there right now does not mean that you could mean you're missing a great opportunity.
Yeah,
Kind of
for
like what
sure.
Sharknock is saying.
Yeah, and like Shar brings up the series one Hollow Nines. Like that was my playing field for a very long time. Like if y'all look back, yeah, I had no shards for a great amount, probably for the first 3 to 4 months of me collecting. And that's where I play. I've even played in the Optichrome field. Is those opportunities are there, and it's like there's just not a lot of these cards, period. Like, let's go with the number that Shar says, 500.
Hmm.
Like, as time goes on, that number is small now, but imagine what it's going to be in that
And
five
when
to
you all
ten
say
year
500,
window.
because he's not talking about shards
He's
like we
talking
have
about
over here. He's talking
hollows.
about
Yeah.
hollows, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and right now they're pretty cheap, right? And I sold all my hollows because I'm a shard kind of person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm at the point where like
Shard and cracked ice. Yeah.
yeah, shard and cracked ice.
Yeah.
That's what I like, right?
Yeah.
And I could be. I don't. I think that there's going to be a time where base cards have
Mm-hmm.
potential,
For
hollows have
sure.
potential. But as a collector, I'm at the moment where I can buy shards. And I
Mm-hmm.
want those for my collection, so that's what I'm buying.
Yeah.
But I know people who are buying the hollows and stuff like that, and I think they have a great upside too.
Yeah. And Uh,
Are you talking about the DKV cards still? I don't think PSA has. I've only graded 4 or 5 of them with
mhm,
SGC so far.
yeah.
If that's what you're talking about, I assume.
Yo, so I did see a slight pivot real quick. Beckett is doing a little dope promotion where they're giving a specific case for one of their submissions. Like I think it's $100 submission. You get a Beckett uh like a pelican looking case for an individual card. They marketing might get up there. I'm interested to see what they do. I'm probably going to still be PSA all the way, but for the most part. But y'all know I like BGS slabs. I'm interested to see if they can have a bounce back business wise.
Yo, this is a crazy like comparison, and I agree. I remember this. Someone paid 10,000 Bitcoin for like it was something like that,
Oh, the
something
pizza,
crazy
yeah.
for the 2 pizzas. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
don't sell your shards too quick. Shit happens. I mean, that's true because like right now it seems like there's a lot of cards on eBay, right? But like I was here when there wasn't.
mm-hmm.
Like I spent $500 on a Ghoul Trooper Italy shard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you can get it for like 100 something. Like I've seen a lot on eBay. This is for Italy because there were none. They were never
Yeah.
popping up. And when one finally popped up, I was like, I have to have that Italy shard. It
Mm-hmm.
9.5 in SGC, but that's beside the point. I had to have it. Because like now you can get them cheaper, but like at
Yeah.
that point when there was none on there, like I was willing to
Mm-hmm.
spend it, and that's what we gotta wait for.
Yeah. I'm a placeholder guy as well. Like if it's a card that I like, I will
Mhm.
get that in the grade that's available, and I'll look for opportunities to upgrade it as time goes on. Because like JL was saying, we don't know when a card is gonna pop up, how many times a card is gonna pop up. It may seem like there's a lot of shards or hollows at this time, and then the next thing you know, we can go through another spell where we don't see him for 2 to 3 months, maybe 4 months, whatever the case may be. Uh, the hobby and the market, whatever however you want to say it, is definitely gonna have its interesting pivots throughout this time.
Yeah,
What's up,
see,
AKA
and that's
Ball?
that's what I'm worried about. I have a Cuddle Team Leader PSA 8. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to have a 9 or a 10 of that USA shard,
Mm-hmm.
but like it was so there was none on like for affordable price. There was none on eBay for the longest
Yeah.
time. So when I traded for that, I was happy to get that as like you said a placeholder. Because what
Yeah.
if none ever show up in my
That's what
price
I'm.
range,
That's what I'm
right? Then I'd
saying.
be happy to have an 8, even a 7, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I think it's gonna be that hard to find some of these cards.
So I think another question is, and this is not for the BK holders in here, y'all. With
Yo,
us talking
AKA,
about
what's
this,
up?
where like do y'all have is it one of those things where BK is just like an anomaly to most collectors now, or do some of y'all actually have a target price, or do y'all have a goal or a plan to get a BK shard in y'all possession? Um, I'm looking at the PSA 5 4 realm. That's probably the I listen, I would enjoy a PSA 5 BK like it was a PSA 10 if I got it in my collection, just because it's that type of card in my opinion.
All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here,
Hmm.
and against these black knights, okay? Because
Hmm.
everyone hates me when I do this. Um, but let's say no sets come out, right? No more
Yeah,
sets come out for cards. Let's
yeah,
say that happens for anyone, right?
yeah,
These are the only cards, right? Does that
yeah.
help Black Knight, or does that help fan favorite skins more?
It helps Black Knight.
You think that helps Black
Yeah,
Knight?
yeah,
Because like,
yeah.
do you think that Black Knight has more fans of it than some other skins?
No, I think that based off of the hobby, I think Black Knight has more potential for higher. People are always going to pay for Black Knight. And
Mhm.
I think that this is just my opinion. I think no matter what other card we talk about, I think all of their ceilings, no matter what, is under Black Knight. I think cards have potential to I think there's going to be cards that have major growth and BK stays at a certain point, but I think BK is always I think it's always going to help BK no matter what happens.
I think that possibly if there's no more sets coming out and like the hobby's only filled with people who love the game and love their skins, I think that fan favorite skins might get more of a bump. That's my opinion. I don't
Yeah,
know if they're
well,
gonna top Black Knight, but I think they'll benefit more from it than Black Knight will. Like
I think
I think if more
every
sets come out,
mhm,
right, more and like it keeps growing the hobby and a whole lot of collectors and investors get into it,
mhm.
like I think Black Knight would benefit more than the others.
Yeah.
So like that's why I was getting at. I think that if more sets come out, I think Black Knight has a higher ceiling than it has
Hmm.
than if they don't. But I think possibly fan favorites might have a higher ceiling than they would otherwise.
I think fan favorites as a personal gamer, I think fan favorites have, like you said, a higher
This is see
growth.
this one I'm talking about here. So Black Knight is the reason that non-Fortnite players got
Right.
pulled in. So
But
like if there's no more sets that come out, are they going to be
but
interested in that?
listen, the thing I think, even
Possibly, I don't
let's
know.
but like even if that's not the case, I think that goes to the conversation we had earlier of that's why I brought up the BK floor. Because
Yeah.
like even if fan favorite skins from the game has a major growth, I think they're going to grow from being undervalued or underappreciated. But
Hmm.
I don't think that's going to affect the way BK is looked at by the market in
Yeah,
the investor standpoint, because like we just talked about for like 20-30 minutes, if BK hits a certain price, I think there's a buyer for
I do too.
I think. And so I just don't know, like I think that there's going to be a great surgence of people that do know the game, that likes the cards, and I think that's going to make those cards grow. But I don't think it's going to have any effect on BK.
So see, this is what I'm trying to get at right here, right?
Hmm.
So like if the cards, like I'm saying, if we get more sets,
Hmm.
I think it's gonna be hard to ever top Black Knight, right?
Yeah.
Because like that's the card for the trading card hobby. That's what bringing people in. This is the OG series one sin, right? But let's say we get no more card sets, right? And
Hmm.
it's just people who are fans of Fortnite and stuff like that. And let's say
Yeah.
Bright Bomber, which I
Hmm.
have no USA Bright Bombers, by the way. Let's say Bright Bomber PSA 10, right? And then
Hmm.
she gets a full feature in comics, movies, and stuff like that. But there are no more card sets. Could
Hmm.
Bright Bomber eventually, in 5, 10, 20 years, have a higher ceiling than Black Knight if that happened?
Maybe. I just think the way I look at it, I just look at and I agree. I think that there's possibilities.
Yeah.
The way I look at it always is whether it comes to Aura, Bright Bomber, Ghoul Trooper, and I'm naming people that I think
Yep.
have great growth potential. Ghoul Trooper, whether they have that interest or not, I don't know how many people are going to be in play, even the 5, 10, 20 years from now, to pay to trump BK's price. Like
Mhm.
like to be like, okay, BK's here, but this skin has such a moment that is going to trump all the investment. Even if investors leave, I don't think all the investors are going to leave.
True.
And I think people are going to hold it. And that's where I think that the beauty of Fortnite cards come in, that because I do think we haven't seen the realization of what the game means, and we have seen it in the market, but I think the market favorites is hard to beat because of the people that are in play every time it goes up for auction.
No, no, I hear you, and I get
Hmm.
that. I'm just trying to think about like the possibilities for like outside. Like if like obviously if like Black Knight, it's
Hmm.
so collectible as a card. Like it's crazy collectible a card. But like if that somehow died down
Hmm.
and there's movies and stuff, I always find it hard to figure out how Black Knight would do. Even Peely. Like
Hmm.
I think I'm not a Peely guy.
Hmm.
I think if the card stopped,
Hmm.
Healy could have a higher ceiling than Black Knight.
Yeah.
If we never printed another Fortnite card set ever again,
Hmm.
Healy could have a higher ceiling than Black Knight because people are going to love Peely. They're going to see him in all the marketing for the next 10 to 20 years,
Hmm.
right? And like people might just be Peely collectors, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be anyone that's just like, if there's no cards, if there's no cards, I don't know if there's anyone that's going to be a Black Knight collector.
Hmm.
But I could see someone being a Peely collector if the card stopped. Like Peely's plushes, Peely in the comics, Peely cards, you know?
Uh,
Just another way to look at it,
yeah. I don't.
hypothetically.
And as a gamer, it's always hard for me to disagree, because there's cards that I do feel have,
Mhm.
it's things that I seen over with the new release of the season, but a lot of people don't want to hear it anymore, so I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna just chill either way. But there's things that happened that I seen, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And I do think that when more gamers come in, I think that the interest is going to peak. Uh, my brain can't see even Pilly, and I think, like I said, I do think Pilly has a lot of growth potential as well. He's never had a dip. I think numbers can get closer, and I think it can
Mhm.
get uncomfortable at some points, possibly. Do I think that it'll pass it? I don't think so. I would be interested. I really do see BK as an iconic figure. Figure.
Hmm.
So even no matter what happens in the game or A, B, and C, I think it's gonna end up being because from my experience, and a lot of people have resistance to what happens in the game, even from people that play the game. So that's what always was interesting to me. Like I'm interested to see what happens.
I think this is an interesting thing, and so this is where I differ a little bit. Like these comic sketches aren't cracked ice; they're not hollow. They're still dope as hell.
Hmm.
I think the Renegade Raider card in a 10, if it's rarer than a Black Knight, it's kind of hard to think of right now because of where we are. Been like 10,
Renegade
20
what?
years. Any Renegade Raider, like so, he was saying that a
Like,
Renegade Raider movie came out, right?
hmm.
And the base card over a shard. If it was the same rarity, it's obviously not, right? But,
Hmm.
like, it's not the shard doesn't make the Black Knight, it's the shard, beauty of the card, plus the scarcity of it,
Hmm.
right? It's not shard versus base card, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Because like, a base card can look great, like, there's $6 million base cards that sell, right? So, it's not really the base card for me, it's about the rarity of the Black Knight, the set that the Black Knight came in, and it's an OG skin, like, all those play into it.
Iconic skin.
It's iconic,
Yeah,
right? So I don't
yeah.
think it's the shard as much that matters, it's the rarity of that card, not just that it's a base. It looks badass. I'm just saying it's not base card versus shard for me. Like I'd pick the prototype Renegade Raider over a Black Knight shard. Not investment advice, that's what I would do.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean, and well, so here's the thing as well. Like when we talk about when we talk about like the hypotheticals, right? Like, okay, for instance, let's and y'all can give the number in chat of which I feel. A PSA 10 Black Knight is what right now? Would you say? What would y'all say a PSA 10 Black Knight is right now? If
It's so hard to give prices. I have no idea.
well, okay, let's go with
I'd say PSA 10, y'all probably tell me wrong. I don't track the prices. I'd say what 25, 30K.
let's whatever let's go with 30K, right?
This is not investment advice.
Yeah.
I
50.
know why,
Okay.
Bobby, but this is not investment advice.
So Nick says 50, right?
Yeah, 50. Okay.
Let's say 50. What I'm kind of getting at is I think like let's say with a PSA 10 Pilly, right? I
Mhm.
think Pilly will hit 30K, 35K. Let's just talk number, like let's just hypothetical 30, 35K, maybe before Black Knight hits 60, 65, but
Mhm.
BK will still have that. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Even if cars have major growth, because after you talk about Pilly, we think about Drift. What is Drift PSA 10? Like maybe 3,500. Then you got Gucci with
Wait. We have to
3,500.
talk. We should be giving some like hints away because this whole season and theme
It's Drift.
is drift. It's
Is
related to drift.
I
And
it
like we have to start paying attention to all these factions. Like people are crazy about Black Knight. I get it, card wise. I get it. But
mhm,
drift has so much potential. I don't have a drift,
mhm.
FYI. It's a cool looking card. I do not have
I
one.
need a Drift
I
bad.
don't have a hollow. I don't have a shard.
Yeah.
But the potential story wise, it's from chapter one. It's fairly OG. I mean, it has a lot going for it. Drift is kind of crazy.
Drift is I'll be honest, and even I'll bring another conversation up. If you look at every time a season, every time something drops, it is always Pilly, Fish Stick, Drift, Cuddle Team Leader, Bright Bomber. These are the iconic figures that are marketed. And Drift has came back in a very strong way. And I've always felt Drift was a major card. Anybody that has ever had a conversation with me knows that. Uh and that the Fox Clan aspect of that, I think they're really building that. Long story short, Drift is from this world, like they do the multiverses. Let's just use it. I think people know that word more than pulling from other realities. But Drift is from our reality. I think a lot goes into that. I think that has a lot of potential.
That's what you're
So
answering right here. Because someone just asked, Drift hipster Jonesy without a mask. Drift
no,
is not Jonesy.
no,
He's a specific person, a
yeah.
specific character.
Yeah, and I think that if y'all look back at our lives, we talk about Fox Clan a lot. I talk about Fox Clan a lot because I believe in that a lot when it comes to them. But those are the type of cards like if we can all give numbers here, but from the, like previous sales, like the Gold Troopers, the Auras, and the Drifts of the world is around that 3K to 3,500 range. I think they can have extreme growth. I just don't know if they could ever get into that BK realm.
So here's why I want to say that like I try to talk against because everyone's for Black Knight, everyone. So like I'm going against the grain whenever I talk about this, right? But this
Hmm.
is what I'm talking about as like a gamer. I know a lot of people that have the Black Knight skin. They
Hmm.
never wear him.
Hmm.
They wear Royal Knight over Black Knight. They wear other male skins over Black Knight. Purple Skull Trooper over Black Knight.
Hmm.
There's just other stuff that they wear over Black Knight, and I want to get up to this connects to what Kari said, if I can find it. Anyway, he was basically saying about sentiment, like Peely has more sentimental value because of people wearing it. And I think the connection with wearing a skin is so freaking
Wait,
important
wait, 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 wait. More sentimental value, like as in who gets worn
to
more?
some gamers.
Oh
Like some
yeah,
people have more sentimental value to Peely than they do Black Knight.
but they okay. I'll
Do
let
you get what
yeah.
I'm
I'll
saying?
go. I'll
You
yeah.
may not agree, but he's saying that some people are like that, and I agree that's true. I talked to a lot of people who they don't have that sentimental value to the Black Knight. Like I don't have sentimental value to Black
I
Knight.
mean, see, okay, and I hear what you're saying, but I think we're like I think what we're missing when it comes to the hobby aspect of it
Mhm,
is what the card represents, right?
mhm.
And I think this being the first set, this being the number one card of the first set, no matter what happens, you can't take
Yep.
away from that being S1.
No,
And I think that's where I agree with you when it comes to the drifts. I know that these cards are
I'm
these
not trying to
skins
bring Black Knight down.
yeah,
I'm trying to say there's others that can come up closer to him.
we
That's
100%.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
and we're both saying that, and I think
And
all yeah,
maybe they take some market share away from Black Knight. I don't know because
yeah,
like let's say like Healy gets up there and like a big person has a lot of money to spend, but they
yeah,
only have like 50K to spend, right? And they
yeah,
like Peely more than Black Knight, and they're both in that range, they might buy Peely, you know.
yeah,
So I think that I'm not trying to bring Black Knight down. I think
yeah.
that Black Knight's market share can maybe be siphoned by some of these other high
What's
priority
up,
skins that never
collectible
show up.
investor? Yeah, and the thing is okay. So what, in your opinion, what? Because I can rattle them off. In your opinion, what cards can do that? Cards slash skins can do that.
Wait, this is facts. I wasn't trying to say about that. I was talking about sentimental value.
No,
Chill,
that's what I was. I
chill,
asked you though. I was like, what are you getting
chill.
at? That's what I said. That I
Well, I
was
wasn't
like,
talking about wearing it. Kari
that's
said Peely, not me. I was talking about what Kari said for
yeah,
like Peely.
but then I asked you to, I said, what are you saying? And it seemed like you doubled down on it. That's what I was asking.
No,
I'm
I
like,
was talking about sentimental value,
uh-huh.
and I was just trying to use a skin that someone else was using because people got mad at me for talking about the skins I talk about for some
Hmm.
reason.
Yeah.
So
And I think so. I think where I love this because y'all know I always talk about this where Pilly comes in, like, Kyrie said sentimental. I think Pilly's just like BK, he's just iconic across the board, right? And it's just about what level of iconic to the market. And that's kind of what,
I was talking
he
about
did.
wearing. I was talking about wearing skins, but then I went to what Kari was saying about
No, I
Peely
thought I
being
was tripping.
sentimental.
I thought
My
I
bad.
was
I
tripping.
voiced that differently. That I was trying to do two thoughts at once. I was trying to
Yeah,
connect
yeah.
two thoughts at once. Um, my
Kyrie
bad.
said, "Don't put that on me."
Kari did talk about Peely's sentimental value, and I was trying to talk about that without naming aura or like focus.
So,
Whenever I talk about these skins that I talk about, I get messages saying, "Hey, why do you pump your own cards?"
right,
Just so
yeah,
y'all know.
yeah,
So that's why I'm
and
trying to be exactly clear. I'm trying to use the skins y'all want to
that's
talk
why.
about.
But that's also why I was looking out for you. That's why I'm like, what are
Yeah,
you saying?
I
you know?
appreciate. I appreciate it. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
So,
Um,
but onto that, Dylan. What do you feel? What do you feel are the cards that can do that? What cards could take? Let's just go with what you said. What cards could take market share away from BK as we go on
from
down the road?
BK,
Yeah.
Gold Trooper, top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
Top of the list is Gold Trooper. Peely, top of the list.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bright Bomber actually might have more potential than Dark Bomber, story
Yes,
wise.
I agree.
Even
Yep.
though Dark Bomber is cooler in game,
Right.
Bright Bomber story wise has more potential to take stuff. Skull Trooper is going less and less on the list for me. I think Bright
Mm-mm.
Bomber actually has an actual like story. I don't know if Skull Trooper will ever get that. So I think his is not going to take as much away.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Nogops. I think Nogops can take, and I think Drift, Cuddle Team Leader. Try and go with some S1 shards.
See,
Aura, but you guys know I'm gonna say Aura.
mhm.
Um,
Okay, I have a,
I
I
think.
have I have a hypothetical for you. Here's the thing, because like I feel I'm gonna use this as an example, and this is the best example I can give. Right, I'm a big Lux fan. Right, I like Lux card over any card in the hobby. I'm a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Is there ever a point where I'm compete like let's just say I had the funds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there ever going to be a time, and let's switch, I'm just giving a example, but let's switch it to Pilly. Is there ever going to be a time where an auction is up and there's enough action where it surpasses BK in price?
Mm-hmm.
A Pilly. I just don't see that happening. I really don't.
And let
And
me ask. Let
it's
me ask
yeah.
you a question though. So let's say you didn't have a Lux.
Hmm.
Let's say this is. Let's say it's you. You just came into Fortnite cards. It's 5 years later,
Yeah.
right? But
Hmm.
Lux is like in an auction, and Black Knight's in an auction, and they both go for similar prices because they have the same type of rarity,
Hmm.
right? Forget everything you know now, and you had the
Hmm.
funds. Which one are you buying? The Lux at 20K or the Black Knight at 20K? Let's say they were
Well, I'm
valued in the
yeah.
same.
Yeah,
Which one are you buying?
I'm gonna I'm gonna buy Lux. But
Yeah.
the thing is that I just don't, even obviously that was an extreme hypothetical, but even then that's gonna be one person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I would have to have 4 to 5 other Lux fans that's gonna even compete with me to do that. You get what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and that's where it kind of changed. I know that there's BK traction
That's
looking
true.
for that. And I just don't know down the road, even, and I'm talking about the 5 to 10 to 20 year window. I don't know if it's going to be enough people that have that level of interest to outpace it based off of the people that's in the market. And even if some of them leave, I just don't see, I see BK floor as very differently than every other card's floor.
No, I agree. And
Mhm.
like there's something has to be said because like it is that card.
Right.
But I was just trying to take it. I was just all right, let's put it this way. You needed funds,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Would you sell your Black Knight for funds or would you sell your Lux?
I'm going to sell my Black Knight because I know I'm going to get more. I'm
If you could get the same amount for both.
going to sell BK.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And that at some point that has to affect the
But it has to
market
be a
in some
lot.
way.
But it has to be so many people that have that same thing, because there's that many people that feel that way about BK. That's all I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I
no,
just
I know, but
don't.
I think there's so many people that feel that way about other skins too, not
But
specifically
they
Lux,
and
but like
but then it has to mix with the income as well,
that's
and
true.
that's where it gets interesting to me, because I don't know if I know that BK stands for something in the hobby. Even
Yep,
I
it
think he,
does.
matter of fact, I'll go a step further. I think BK means more to we. I know you agree with this. BK means more to the hobby than it does the game right now, and
100%.
and even with that, even with more people coming in, I don't know if they outpaced the heavy hitter investors. Even if
That's true.
half of them leave, I just don't know if that. I don't know if that's going to be the
I
case.
mean, A, they're gonna protect their investment.
Yeah.
Um, it's not like it's a fake investment
Right.
either because
Right.
BK is that guy. He's
Hmm.
OG. He deserves to be in the top. Like anybody, there's a lot of skins that could have taken the top for Series 1, in my opinion.
Yeah.
School Trooper, Skull Trooper, a lot of these guys could have taken the top.
Yeah.
Black Knight is in that, and he took it, and it's gonna be hard to take it from him. I
Yeah.
100% agree on that. All
Yeah.
this is not investment advice. We're just trying to spectate and get speculate and get some other
Hmm.
ideas flowing, just so it's not like the same stuff every time. You know.
Yeah.
But like you make a lot of good points. It's like it's gonna be hard to take him.
Hmm.
He's not a fake good card. I mean, everyone knows Black Knight.
Yeah.
He's infamous, right? There's
Yeah.
a reason we put him in the top 50 so high, right?
Hmm.
There's a reason he's up there. He belongs there.
Yeah. And I also like that's an interesting thing. It was, where was the
Charizard's weak in the game.
I don't know nothing about that. That's out of my realm.
I don't know. I always thought Charizard was pretty badass. I never thought he was weak. I never considered him like weak or. I mean, he's definitely favorite.
Yeah.
But you may know more than I do about that. I always thought Charizard was pretty badass. I thought he was the strongest out of the starter Pokemon.
Yeah.
Oh, and the
Yes.
trading card game, he's weak. Yeah, but
Uh,
people don't really collect him for that money because of the trading card game. In my opinion, they talk about like the IP. I think it has more to do with like playing and loving the actual game.
and Shard, this is kind of what I was getting at. What I was kind of trying to bring into the, because I feel like respectfully, I think that there's two different things happening that I think is the proper balance. I think what the market and investors prefer compared to what happens in the game is
Mm-hmm.
two different things that have two great potentials.
Yep.
What I mean by that is, like, for instance, a Spider Knight. Spider Knight's not popular in game when it comes to usage or those buzzwords, but he is loved in the market, and I respect that. You get what I mean?
See,
Like, that doesn't, it doesn't mean that it's a card that I'm gonna chase, but that's what I'm getting at with BK. I don't think that game love can outpace BK's relevance in the market. And I think he's probably the only one that has that.
but I don't think these talks are pointless
Mm-hmm.
because I think we're so early and this market is. Let's talk about the Facebook group is 2,000 people big.
Mm-hmm.
So this market really means nothing in 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
It's the market in 10 to 20 years that we freaking care about. And
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to predict the market in 10 to 20 years? Not by looking at who's collecting now, but who's going to be collecting then. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think these conversations are important
Mm-hmm.
so that you can plan, diversify, and plan for that. Like Spider Knight, like if we weren't having these conversations, people might think like that's like a badass card and it should be in the top five. I don't
And
think so.
but here's the thing. See, I think that's the nuance to it, though.
Yeah.
The nuance to it is the way I view the game conversations that we have is potential. And what I mean by that is potential of, I've always said this. I think that if a new collector comes in and even a new investor comes in and
Hmm.
they're looking for an opportunity, I do think that the market has chose the cards, and those cards are kind of out of some people price. But
Hmm.
if obviously, if you're a high end investor, you can go for whatever you want. I think when I talk about the game, when we talk about the game, I think the potential of opportunity that's out there when it comes to cards that's dirt cheap, but we know have relevance in the game. And I think that for newcomers coming in, that's opportunities that you could take a hold of. And I think that's where the balance comes in at when it comes to what happens in game and then what's true to the market.
Yeah. See, so I think that we get a lot of market talk, and the Facebook group has had a market talk. When we
Hmm.
started this, there was no talk about in game.
Hmm.
So like when you
Hmm.
talk about balance, it's perfectly balanced. This show right here,
Hmm.
taking high ground, is the only place that is
Hmm.
balancing this market.
Hmm.
Facebook group, all the other YouTube channels out there are only talking about eBay sales and card sales. Tell me
Hmm.
if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
this is balance. So like
And
if you want balance, we have to bring this stuff out because no one is talking against Black Knight. Not one
yeah.
person. And I'm
Hmm.
not trying to bring them down. I'm just trying to give
Hmm.
other ideas here. And I think that it's smart to follow the market. But when I've been watching for the last since 2019, since I was in this and looking at how people are collecting, people were overvaluing legendary skins just because of the word legendary.
Hmm.
And that's where a lot of the market happened.
Hmm.
The market grew up because people were treating it like any other hobby. They didn't
Hmm.
understand the love of the game,
Right.
right? So they were buying legendary cards. Legendaries were more expensive than uncommon, rare, and epic, which
Hmm.
is the wrong way to do it. And it's not going to play out that way in the future. Exactly. Just like there's so many series 2 legendary that aren't worth anything. They just don't matter, right?
Yeah.
So that's all I was trying to say. I do think we should pay attention to the market, but
Hmm.
like I said, balancing is important, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, yeah. I think the balancing factor, and I think that's what I think that's the beauty of the conversation that we had with
Mhm.
BK, because I think that there's gonna be cards that have a cap based off a market, and then there's gonna be cards that have growth based off the game, but then it's gonna also be a vice versa where people are gonna come in and they're gonna be confused on either side. But it does have to be somewhat of a balancing factor, because if for me, okay, this is the way I always explain it. If you look at Marvel cards, they're collecting superheroes, they're collecting storyline. Fortnite has that. If you're looking at based off of the Mickey Mantles, the Jordans of the world of iconic cards, Fortnite has that when it comes to marketing and investors, when it comes to the BKs, the Pillies, iconic cards, right? And then even on the gaming side, when you look at sports and statistics and all of those things of what happens in the game, Fortnite has that as well. So Fortnite has all of these sectors, and it's impossible for me to ignore based off of playing the game. But I also appreciate the card market because
Mhm.
I appreciate what people choose and why they choose it. And then you get into the pop reports, you get into the pull rates and all of that. And I think that's why the market for Fortnite is so beautiful, because there's so many other things that go into it. And once again, it's so small.
Red Knight is a badass looking skin. Um, we use usage, right? So it's not just usage, but look how many seasons he was in the top 100 skins used,
Mm-hmm.
and he's expensive.
Yeah,
Cheap. Red
yeah.
Knight is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 2,000 V-buck skin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it wasn't a cheap one, and look how high it is. It has great usage.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, out of over 1,000 skins, it's 189.
Yeah.
But, like, over here, it has great usage. This is great usage. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
the top tier usage. It's great, and the card looks badass, and it makes you feel like you were in season 1 and
Mm-hmm.
season 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it makes you feel like, right?
Yeah.
So, I agree with Red Knight. Red Knight's a great card. I don't collect Red Knight. Red Knight belongs where it is. Um, dang, Nick said he was selling his Black Knight before his Red Knight. Yeah, I
That
mean, I
card is
think Red Knight's a great card.
so, and this was so JL said pretty much he's asking, can people still get BK in game?
Yep.
And if they can't get them in game, will gamers look to other cards A, B, and C in the future? Um
Just
this
Go ahead.
I think okay, so there's very few skins that surpass any of that conversation. That is Black Knight, that is Bright Bomber, Pilly, Fish Stick, and if we wanted to round it out, maybe Drift. But there is certain cards that's absolutely iconic. Absolutely, in my opinion, my personal opinion, Dylan may have a different one. There's nothing that can take away from what happened during that era, because, like, for instance, I don't have BK. I would love to have BK. Shout out to USPS. I would love to have BK in my collection because of me missing him. I want him in my collection of cards, and I think that's going to happen a lot more times than not. Uh, and I think that's one of those things where, as time goes on, even a Midas is a lot of younger collectors or younger gamers, I should say, BK, because they came in later. But even with Midas, my bad, I forgot Midas. Midas is iconic, so I don't think
Mhm.
anything can be taken away from iconic cards, and there's not too many that's in that percentile.
Okay, that was great. I think you covered that fine. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
give my opinion on it. I saw this. I don't want to miss this. All right, Sharnock said that I should value legendary skins more. I'm not valuing any skin just because it's legendary. Me
Hmm.
personally, you guys
Hmm.
can do what you want. Um, whether it's less than the total S1 print base, yes, I get what you're saying. If you're talking about shard wise, I
Hmm.
don't think there's enough shards for that to matter too much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about fan bases. If we're gonna reach the heights we're talking about,
Yeah.
like we were talking about like 20 people.
Hmm.
That's all you're talking about. So no, I don't care about for like shard print right for like base wise, I 100% get it. But like shard wise, I don't think so. But this ties into what Westrom here says. He goes, Nogop's more popular than Blackheart. And
Hmm.
Shardneck says, you want to bet on that long term? Oh, base and hollow only. Um, I've got Nogop's outselling Blackheart base cards, to be
Yeah.
honest.
So.
I'll take that bet.
Mhm.
I would bet an aura on that. Blackheart is like, I don't know. In my opinion, Nogops will have like
So
millions more fans.
I'm gonna give a little bit to this, right?
Yeah.
Collectors behavior. Collectors behavior. And that's because, like, okay. So remember how you brought up like the Lux compared to BK, what would I go for?
Yeah.
Right? I'll go on a when it comes to a collector, like if we're talking about the ideal collector, okay, let's say the gaming collector, right?
Hmm.
They may want it in any grade they can get. Like, so
Okay.
remember how we had that conversation a couple weeks ago? Like, I think it was JT and Kyrie talking about, and I know Shard and Nick is kind of in this realm as well when it comes to the PSA 10 collectors. Like, they want
Hmm.
10, they're going for gems. I think that's the deciding factor. Like, maybe when collectors come in, once they get their card, they have their card. And I think, even like, are they going to be ones that want the gem? Are they going to be ones that just want the card in their collection? So I think it's a lot of nuance to collectors compared to investors. So I definitely see both sides of those spectrums. It just depends on which one kind of swings that
Yeah.
way.
It's just when you're talking about base cards, it's hard for me to fathom there's that many people who are going to be looking for a base card of Blackheart. And I know there's going to be somebody looking for a base card of Fish Sticks.
It depends. Well, are you factoring in future set collectors? Are you factoring in future? Because
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying there.
yeah, because that's where the pop reports and those numbers come in at.
Yeah.
And the reason I think this is a great conversation, because I think that sometimes it seems like we're only on the game and collecting side, which I'll speak for myself. I'm personally not, because I love the nuance of the card hobby. What makes a
Mhm.
card tick when it comes to the market. And the reason why I bring that up is because, like, if a card has low pop, like for instance, Ice Queen. People were going, if Ice Queen has a moment, right? If she has a
Mhm.
moment in game because she's connected to Ice King. As much as I dislike Ice Queen, I understand that she's pop 3 when it comes to a PSA 10 cracked ice. And then that's why I think the conversation changes, because then you do have to look at pop for a card that may be lackluster. Does that mean Blackheart is going to outsell Nogops? I'm not sure. Y'all know how I feel about Nogops. I don't know. As a collector, I would be like, that's crazy. Looking at the full market, that could be interesting.
I mean, current market,
Mm-hmm.
possibly. Because, like I said, a lot of people are paying attention to legendary stuff like that. I think in 10, 20 years, I think
Mm-hmm.
that Nogops outsells Blackheart any day.
Yeah, yeah. Naga, and I hate to say it, I think I've kind of left Nagaps out the iconic conversation as well. Like, Nagaps is, I mean, she's a staple,
And
and I guess the like what kind of like Shar brought up, I do have a gamer's mind. So a lot of times the first thing out of my mouth is always going to be that. But I do know how to give the balance of it, because I'll be honest, I look at other sectors of the hobby all through the week to kind of come up with these conversations that we have. And I will say it's a lot of nuance to them low pop cards down the road. So it's interesting.
picking a different legendary card would make it harder. I just find it hard to believe there's 2,500 collectors of Blackheart. Even
Hmm.
though I don't know how we can be this exact with the numbers. I know you do a lot of work on the numbers and stuff, but
Hmm.
even then, I don't think that. And then if you said hollows too, like hollow wise, for sure, I think
Yeah.
knockoffs. But I'm sure there's if you picked a different legendary card that had a rarer pop, that would be a much different conversation.
Yeah.
So you're right about that.
Before you go to the next one, so yeah, 200. The reason why I brought up Ice Queen is because I'm not a
Mm,
fan of Ice Queen. So I always, like, if somebody tries to put her like over a Lynx, I'm always gonna combat that, right? What
yeah,
I'm saying is, though, is if she, like, there's two things that can happen. She can have a moment in game that picks her up, or people can look at her pop report compared to what set collectors are going to do in the future
that's
and be like,
true.
yo, hold up, it's only 3 of these. I have to have this card just in case that moment happens. That's what I look at, because I know that happens. I know that happens in other parts of the hobby. You know what I mean?
It happened with 8 ball.
Yeah, exactly.
It definitely happened with 8 ball. Now, see,
Yeah.
that's where we can talk about like the market and stuff.
That's what I
Like
did. That,
that
yeah.
that that's that is 100% true because I'm gonna pull it up now.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like Ice Queen.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been against Ice Queen. She's like the least used. Like she means, in my opinion, she means nothing. Let me see, where is? I'm gonna pull up her pop report just to check. What are we looking at here for?
Yeah.
Like her cracked ice is super rare, and that
Yeah.
changes the entire equation, right? Because
Yeah,
when we were
like
talking
that.
about, I can't fathom there's 2,500 Blackheart collectors.
Mhm.
There's definitely going to be three.
3.
set
That's yeah,
collectors.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely
exactly.
going to be 3 set collectors. So if
Mm-hmm.
you hold a PSA 10 and they
Right.
want to complete that set and they can only buy it from you, so I'm gonna throw this up here. Ice Queen, Cracked Ice. There's only 3 PSA 10s out of 37.
Out of 30, that's a crazy number.
That is a crazy
That's a
number.
crazy
So
number.
there's one. So like if Blackheart, there was only 2 Cracked Ice, then maybe
Mhm.
he outsells knockoffs. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
if you're talking about that, I agree. But then you have to like study the pop report and see where those are gonna happen. Because there's definitely gonna be 3 set collectors. There
Mhm.
already is 3 set collectors, probably.
Now here's another question. Here's another question, and this is I like this. I like where this episode is going. So I'm gonna throw another question out there just for the chat and for you. So do you think who is adapting? Who will adapt over the next 5 years, even if let's say series is done or let's say it's not done? No matter what happens, put it that way. Do you think more hobbyists from other sectors of the hobby, Pokemon,
Hmm.
sports, Marvel, do you think they're gonna come in at a faster rate than Fortnite gamers? That's kind of where that kind of is what makes it interesting because if
I
the
I
cards
I
don't
I
come out, you know what I mean?
if cards don't come out,
Mm-hmm.
then I do agree. I think other hobbyists are
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna jump in. You know
To hold
why?
it up, yeah.
I think other hobbies are gonna jump in this because these aren't dipping like other because they're so rare, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
already enough collectors in here.
Mm-hmm.
Like me for like my orders and stuff. Like I'm collecting, and like it's gonna you have to pry them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's enough of those in this hobby to prop it up.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike sports and Pokemon and stuff, there's just too much product. So
Yeah.
I could see investors jumping into this because of how stable the prices are and how big they're going.
Yeah.
Um, so, and anyway, I want to go back to what Bob said here.
Yeah.
Before he said this, he said, "Isn't legendary skins awarded to gamers that grind more and pay more?" Legendary skins. Well, now it's about battle pass, but everyone hits level 100.
That's not true though.
Just a
See,
okay, not
no,
everyone.
but
A,
no,
a
I
good amount.
actually, but
It's about hitting level 200 now.
well, no, this is actually something I just found out. This is
Hmm.
not the reason why that's not. See, I think the adult gamers have lost view because,
Yeah,
and what I mean by that is a lot of the gamers they can't just buy. Like, so for instance, I'll give you a hypothetical based off of work. What I was doing with High Ground, it was no way I could play as much as I wanted to last season. Right, I had to
hmm,
buy the battle pass. Like, I had to buy the rest of the battle pass before the season ended. Adults with jobs can do that. A lot of kids are missing out on the battle pass because either their parents won't give them the money or
yeah.
they can't or they haven't been able to grind because of school, all of these situations, sports. And I think tier 100 still has the same relevance as it did before. And if you look at kind of I've been paying attention to it a lot based off of what we use.
The same.
I really do 100%. I think it has the
I
same
think
relevance.
so. So if you guys don't play the game, you used to get to level 100 and you pretty much got everything, right?
Mhm,
Now to get everything, you have to get to level 200.
mhm.
So I don't think it means as much because I think it's easier now to get to level 100 than it used to be. It's
Yeah, but
much easier.
okay, but what you gotta also remember is that you're when you're playing, you gotta look at the casual gamers as well.
No,
And
no, I
that's
know.
but so
I'm just
is
saying game wise. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about
yeah.
game wise. The amount of experience it takes to get to level 100 as it used to,
Mhm.
it's much easier, much faster.
Yeah, but I mean, even then it's still a grind. And that's what's not it's still a
Two.
grind. It's
That's what I'm saying. No, 100 is not a grind anymore.
but not no, not to you. To gamers in general, it is a grind. People, if you go to Twitter when the Fortnite posts say what level are you on,
Yeah.
a lot of people would say 68, 69. I'm on there. There's people that play the game to that extent, but there the broad scale concurrent is still a grind, 100%.
Hit level 100. You can expect to hit level 100 by 10 to 20 hours of gameplay
A lot of people don't see
in
and
4 months.
100, but you got to remember that everybody don't have that time. Whether
I'm
it's
just saying, and 4 months.
yeah, it's literally a thing. People everybody don't have the same amount of time. That's why they do the battle pass stars at the end of the season. If they didn't feel those battle pass stars at the end of the season were relevant, if they didn't do they have a skin specifically to get 25 extra levels at the end of the season. That's for a reason.
Hmm.
It's not just for the extra styles. It's also to hit tier 100 as well. Yeah.
It seems. I don't know. To me it's much easier in 10 to 20 hours of a game in 4 months. I think kids are hitting that.
See, Tim Sweeney did an interview recently. He said, concurrent gamers aren't
Yep, I
down.
remember this.
Time is down and purchases is down.
Yeah.
Those are
No,
the two things.
they said
Yep.
the amount of players isn't going down, which is
Mm-hmm.
great for like
Mm-hmm.
fan base wise, right? But the amount of time played is,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's not going down to less than 20 hours.
But here's the thing. Like it's always been, it's kind of hard to believe now because we've been playing so long, but there's even new gamers coming in. So it's always been hard for certain gamers to
Hmm.
hit those level, and it's bigger than the way we game, the way most people game now. Like that percent, it's a small percentage still compared to the actual casual gamer. The casual gamer base is still bigger than that we would be considered niche gamers at this point.
Can you wait, say that again?
We'll be considered niche gamers. So what I mean is, if you look at, hypothetically speaking, if you look at people that play creative, if you look at people that play in arenas, it is a smaller demographic than the people that play zero point and that play pub lobbies. It is a niche part of the game compared to the actual casual gamer aspect. That's why they
Mhm.
build things in game to actually
I was
appeal to
just saying,
consumers.
it's not hard game
Mhm.
wise to get to level 100 anymore. It used to be.
Yeah,
That's all I
and
was saying.
yeah, and I think but when it comes to the grind, what I mean is these tier 100 skins is always going to have, in my opinion, they may not have the same level of relevance in the market, but they will always have relevance into memories of the nostalgia of the game when it comes to grinding for a skin. Like when you're grinding for a skin, no matter whether it's easy or hard, it kind of is cemented in your head. And I think that's why I always value tier 100 skins. Whether they're high up on the value scale in the game, in the market, is the different story.
No, I mean, yeah, Bob, I'd wait battle pass skins that are OG way higher.
Why?
Just because of what we're talking about. Like it was harder to grind for it. Like there's level 100 skins I wasn't able to get. That's how hard they were to get. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
just like you were grinded harder for that. And like so if I missed some of these like chapter 2, chapter 3 ones,
But
I
even
wouldn't
then,
value them
even
as
then,
much.
you said based off of how you explained yourself back then, like you said you wouldn't buy the skins. You were in a casual gamer aspect of that. And
Say that again.
you were, when you said, like, when you come to see season 4, like season 4
Hmm.
chapter 1, you
Yeah.
didn't get Omega because you thought Carbide. The way you were thinking, that was a casual gamer's mentality at that time, because the grind was real to get that. And that's what I'm saying.
It
It's a
was real
lot,
to get that.
but
But
it's
that's
a
what I'm
lot
saying.
more. It's a lot more of you right now in that time frame than it is of you right
No,
now. Like,
but what I'm saying is right now to get to level 100, it's 10 hours, it's 3 days.
but that's not how it's broken down though. A lot of people don't have that
We're
level
talking
of
about
time.
two different things.
No,
I
we're
was just
talking
talking
about the
about
same thing.
I'm talking about how easy it is to get to level 100.
What I'm saying is, I don't think you're looking the
You don't have
scale
to
of it,
grind anymore to get to level 100. Back then you
Dylan.
did.
It's just not the truth, bro. It's not. It is people that is still a grind for. It is, because a lot of people can't buy, like, people can't buy battle stars to go up. Some people get the battle pass at bare bones. And when
Yeah.
they get it at bare bones, it's not easy to level up. It's not as easy as a level up. For us, it is, but for the casuals, it's just not.
Yeah, there's a list of all 100 tier skins.
Yeah, you can actually go to it.
It's on they have it on Fortnite GG, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah. Fortnite GG is a great resource, by the way. We are not advertised by them or anything, but we should be, you know. Where do we go? We go to you go to rankings
Yeah. Yeah.
or cosmetics.
Go to most. You can go to most used. They have it broke down there,
Oh, okay.
and you just scroll down. Just keep going. It should pop up soon.
I'm lazy.
Yeah, keep going. It's gonna have the tier 100. It should be right there. Go back up.
That's
Right
Battle
there.
Pass tier 1, Battle Pass
Yep.
tier 1.
So that is the ranking of tier 100s. And that's this and
It only goes to chapter 2, guys. It doesn't go back to chapter 1, which is probably the most important.
mhm. Right. Like
Yeah, so
so
it doesn't really
like
have
yeah.
the chapter 1. Oh, I mean, it has the Reaper here. It's
Oh no,
missing some.
all the skins is from chapter 1 is there. Yeah.
Is it? I don't see Omega.
Omega right there, 7.
Oh, yeah, I do see him. Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, you're right. I was like, dang, I don't see Omega.
Yeah, so these are all the tier 100s and I mean, soon as I look at most of these, it immediately comes back. It immediately
Yeah.
whether it's Dire, obviously Lux, but whether it's Dire, Omega, the lack of having Black Knight, Ice King, even Ultimate Knight. That was probably one of my least favorite seasons when it came to chapter 1, but yeah.
Like, but like, so when, like, I know a lot of collectors try to look at the Battle Pass tier 100s, but like some that pop out to me that I don't even remotely care about. Fusion, Eternal Knight, Ultimate Knight, Vendetta, Menace, and of course all the superior ones. But like you talking about Lux, the
Mhm.
Reaper, even Ice King and Black Knight and Omega, all those like chapter 1 ones, those hit harder for me
Yeah. Yeah,
personally because like you said when we talk about the grind, but like Menace, like I got him easily, didn't even never warn him.
yeah.
It,
And it's just like he said, see Mackenzie said Cap, yeah, you really do. You really do have to grind and
to get to level 1, to get to level 200, you have to grind.
but to get
I
to
still think
102, bro, trust me. Trust me.
I still think it's super easy to get to level 100.
But that's for like so even let's go deeper into I know y'all I know we talking about the game right now, but here's the if you
They're dropping like flies over here.
listen, if you so for instance, you play creative, right? XP goes through the roof with creative.
I didn't play
You
creative at
no, but
all last season.
okay, but you played the game, you got the two. What I'm saying is,
Hmm.
if you play creative, XP goes through the roof. You didn't play
True.
creative at all, but you played hours of arena, you played pubs, you know, and if you play squads, if you play trios, if you play duos, that doubles your XP. All of those type of things come into factor. So it just depends. It
Yeah.
depends on what the gamer is, but it's a lot of people that is still a major
Which
grind
I
for.
mean, we're kind of going after because it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really change the fact. Like we still agree on the top tier 100 skins that are good
Yeah,
and the ones that aren't, and
yeah.
most of them were chapter 1.
Yeah, like and then even like and that's what I love about the like cuz like for instance for me like one that I always looked at like I'm like okay when it comes to the visitor, right? When it comes to the card market, the visitor's not
But
a bad card.
real quick, no
Yeah.
one's saying this. No one's saying old battle passes weren't as popular.
Yeah, yeah.
No
Yeah,
one's
nobody
saying
said.
that. All I was saying, all I was saying was that it's easier to get to level 100
Yeah.
than it used to be.
This is what JT, this is what I'm trying to get to the Dylan like it's everybody, you know, everybody don't got the same time. You know, and I
I
think
feel you on that. I'm just saying, gamer wise, average games that people beat and stuff is 10 to 20 hours is
right,
not up
but
there.
it,
I'm
and
talking
it
about average gamers. If you look at any
mhm,
game that people beat, that's on the average, right? It's like
yeah.
10 to 20 hours. That's all.
Mhm,
That's all I was saying. I
yeah.
felt like it used to be so much harder to get to level 100 than it is now. Now it's like getting to level 200. That's how it's changed a little bit. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be a huge conversation about it.
Yeah. 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 Then now going back, but
Dang,
going
I have to
back.
do a shout out to my wife just in case she's watching. Thank you for letting me play Fortnite. She let me play all day today for the new season.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's like even physical, you know, you got to factor in the physical jobs, you got to factor in physical school, A, B, and C, those things, like all of that. But either way,
This is interesting. If Black
yeah.
Knight is not available to get for newer gamers, then most likely those skins will fall in popularity. Some
Hmm.
some battle pass skins that's going to apply to. Black
Yeah.
Knight's not one of them.
Yeah.
Black Knight is an infamous skin. Everybody knows Black Knight. If you come into the game, you're going to
Hmm.
find out that he's rare. There are battle pass skins like Eternal Knight.
Hmm.
Like no one, I don't ever really see anyone wear this. Like people could forget about that one. Menace, even Ultimate Knight, the fake
So
Black Knight.
So the best example I can give is Jordan hasn't played basketball for is it 2 decades yet? Probably close. Either way, he hasn't played for 2 decades, right? He's still top 10 in jersey sales in the NBA. When you're
Yeah,
iconic, it changes nothing. It
it was a good
changes,
question, Bob. Thanks.
yeah, it changes nothing. It's a very I can see where that confusion of like BK, like relevance, I can really see where that can, because it is true. You can't get BK no more, so you kind of move on, but it doesn't
Hmm.
take away from what happened. And that's
Yeah,
kind of where that falls.
but like people like Blackheart,
Hmm.
no, you know what I mean? Like skins like the Battle Pass skins that you can't get.
Hmm.
It's like those kinds of skins are like people
Yeah.
forget about those.
Yeah, it is like, and I agree. There is skins within a battle pass that is forgotten about forever. And then it may have relevance in other areas, like we said, when it comes to pop and stuff. And I think that's where
Yeah,
it
that's where
gets,
pop comes into play more.
yeah,
Yeah, but like, there's not gonna be too many people who's like, "Oh, I need a Blackheart card," and like search it on eBay,
yeah,
right? You know, they probably don't even know the name of Blackheart, to be honest. Like they're
yeah,
probably like, "What was that guy's name? The skeleton guy that
yeah.
with fish sticks and stuff." That's probably what they would be like, in my opinion.
The
Not
collectible,
investment advice.
the collectible investor.
My wife doesn't. My wife reads, so I let her read and I play Fortnite. I'm not gonna talk about her shows.
So I mean, me and my wife watches The Office all the time. So only one that I can agree with that on is I can't watch those murder mystery shows. The murder mystery ones
I'm
be killing me.
real quick. I'm not
Can't
talking
do
about
it.
right now, Shardnock. I'm always talking about the future. I'm talking about the future. But I get what you mean. I don't know everything. I'm just giving my point of view. You can take it or leave it. Shardnock knows a lot too. So like I'm not talking to you specifically, Shardnock. I'm talking to the community, trying to give my ideas. So please don't take it as do not take my word as gospel, guys. This is not investment advice. This is my personal opinion as a collector. There's a lot
Yeah,
of great people in this chat. Shardnock, JT, Kari, Collectible
yeah.
Investor, JL. There's so many Wes, you know, there's so many
Not
good
funny.
collectors in here that we have to like hear everyone's opinions. So do not just take my word and as gospel. So I'm just giving you different points of view, right?
Yo, I agree with, exactly, Kyrie. I agree. This is definitely what I agree with.
That is true.
Collectible investment.
You could be getting
Yeah,
duds
you
with the
can do it
boys.
always. Yo.
Shardnock says, if
Sorry.
anyone wants to know, his word is gospel.
Yo.
Oh man.
Wait, where was so anybody else realize that Booga will age as we all do, then his neuron synopsis will slow as we all do. Yes, that, well, JL, this has actually happened. So Reverse 2K is the one that actually said it. Reverse 2K was like, yo, I just can't do it no more. Like he was talking about like competing with the younger generation, because
Who
Reverse
said
2K,
this?
Reverse 2K, he was a part of
Mhm.
the original
Yeah.
pro Fortnite gamers, and
I
he
thought you
tried
said
to,
Booga. I was like, wait,
no,
what?
he tried to have his comeback, right? Like last season. And he was like, yeah, I gave my all. He was like, maybe I got too old. I don't know what the case is. He said, but I'll be streaming on Twitch. Like, so it's like it is. It's a major grind. I don't think it has anything to do with age, but some people it does. Like some
I
people
think
it
I
do
think
come into
there's a
play.
learning curve, right? When you're
Mhm.
younger, you can learn super fast.
Yep.
So like if he stays with it, I think he's fine. But like
Yeah.
if you leave this game, go play
If
those
you,
other relaxed games and then try to come back, the learning curve is so much
yeah,
harder.
it
I
is
think if you stick with it, you're
detrimental.
fine,
It's
right?
detrimental.
That it's like Michael Jordan going and playing
Golf,
baseball and then coming up and trying to play
baseball, all
basketball.
that. Yeah.
You know, you got to stick with it. You know, it's harder to get back
That
into it.
that might have been a little bit bad comparison because he still is
I
getting
mean, Michael
buckets.
Jordan's
But yeah,
Michael
yeah,
Jordan,
yeah, yeah,
but you
yeah.
get you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I get what you was getting at. I get what you was getting at.
It's like you can't
Not,
talk about Michael Jordan. He's good no
yeah,
matter
yeah,
what. He
yeah.
carried my Wizards in his last.
I mean, a good one is then you have them people that can do both, like Deion Sanders. You know what I mean? He can go play football and then go to a baseball. Well, actually, he would go play a baseball game, get on a jet, and then go play a football game. He was a different breed though. He was a
Yeah,
different
but
breed.
it doesn't change as much. The thing with Fortnite, it changes,
It changes
right?
like
So
crazy.
like if
Yeah.
you leave, if you leave for a year or 2 years, you leave for 6 months, right? They
Yeah,
add running, they add jump, they add double jump, they add all these different things that you have to learn
yeah,
so many different things.
yeah. No, Dylan, you're so right because like even like I told y'all, like me and my brother was playing this game. We are 11 years apart. Yeah, he's never beat me in anything. When we came to play, like when we played Fortnite, it was clear skill gap, and it started off as just mechanics. Like his mechanics was
Hmm.
10 times better than me, and like you said, you just learn faster. Like
Yep.
I remember at the time, like learning how to do 90s in playground was a major thing, and that age gap was crazy.
I mean, yeah. So and like for Fortnite, it's like every season they add something new. So like if you learn it that season, you're golden.
Yes.
But if you come back 4 or 5 seasons later, you have to learn everything they've added in each of those 4 or 5 seasons, and adding all that up and then trying to compete on the same level as those other guys is almost impossible,
Yeah,
right? You
it
you got to
really
stick
is.
with it,
And
or you got to take several seasons to get back in the groove.
yo,
Like it's not going to be instant.
shout out to the Fortnite boomers that's holding it down. We still playing it strong in the 30s. Yo,
Heck
well, I'm capping.
yeah.
I ain't turned 30 yet. I turned 30 in August, but I said I'm 30. I'm tired of being in my 20s. You feel me?
Don't say that.
But
I'm 31 now. I'm old.
listen, come on now.
I mean, 31 still isn't.
Yep, Bo Jackson was the same. Yeah. First of all, shout out to his sneakers. Him and Dion's. Don't get me
I just
started on
saw.
that.
Speaking of old sneakers, I just saw Allen Iverson
The question
advertisement of his sneakers.
the questions. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, why am I seeing this?
I rock with those too.
And
I
Shark
hope
Knight
you
says
had
he started.
First episode airs next week, 10 p.m. EST.
Yo, go follow Shardnock's YouTube show. The dude it has a wealth of knowledge. He's
Yo,
gonna have his first episode next week at 10 p.m. You're on mute. You're on mute.
which one of y'all would be Skip Bayless where it's my turn? Yo, I watched that clip probably twice a week, bro. When Skip did that, it's my turn. Oh, that crap had me rolling. Him and though, who would be Skip Bayless, Shard or Dylan?
I do not give investment advice. I'm not saying knockoff bases are gonna like fly through the roof, guys. Do not listen to Shardnock. He's trying to make it seem like I'm saying something I'm not. I'm just saying there's gonna be more collectors of knockoffs than there are Blackheart, and take it or leave it. That's just my opinion.
Yo, is it a campaign going on? The campaign,
We're gonna do like a poll.
the poll.
Oh, someone did mention. I think it was JL. Like, should we do a campaign? Like, get a list of names, a petition of
Petition.
for
Yeah,
Epic Games to do Fortnite cards.
I'm with it.
I don't know. I'm on the Blackheart PSA 10 hunt now. I'm just talking Blackheart down so I can buy them all up, and then I'm gonna talk Blackheart back up later, guys.
JL, all that is 20 more years of wisdom, bro. That's all that is. That's all. It's
Love to be in my 30s again.
20 more years of wisdom.
We need to email and call them.
Listen, blow it up. Skip, yo, Kari, for real. Yo, listen, I can hear Shannon saying it. Foundation.
I mean, I'm fine with just letting it chill for a while, to be honest. Like,
Like,
I still have stuff I want to
give,
collect.
give it some breathing room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I think they're doing something. I don't think we have to push them. Like, honestly, I don't think we have to
Man,
push Epic. Like, the
all
whole
I'm.
thing about Renegade Raider, the whole thing about
Mhm.
that them not letting them use skin codes. They're in every single thing. They're in comics. They're in toys. They're in everything. They're pushing Fortnite everywhere.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't they do the cards? It doesn't make any sense.
yeah. Is it just I get and I mean I guess it's just out of their they just need somebody, bro. They need somebody for
All
sure.
right, Aura, and you can come with the worst legendary. I'll pick Aura every day. I'll pick Aura over the worst legendary any day.
Y'all gonna start a run on black cards. Yo,
I mean,
that's
and if
funny.
Blackheart is your favorite skin, I'm not trying to trash it, guys. I didn't come up with the skin; they posted it. I was just giving my opinion. Blackheart could do wonders. I don't know. Not investment
Yeah,
advice.
y'all know how I feel about Blackheart. That's
Sorry,
it.
not rolls eyes. You didn't say series 1 only. What's the best uncommon series 1 card?
Off the top of my head, oh yeah, we got the
So if you
FortniteCards.com
need to
list.
look at the checklist and you want to look at cards, you can go to FortniteCards.com and see the whole checklist with the cards.
Dill said Brute Gunner is one thing, but Blackheart, bro. Okay, Brute Gunner. I'm telling y'all, man. Oh my goodness. Let's see. It might be
Knockouts
not.
might be
It
the
might be
best
not.
one.
Yeah.
And then it'd be Bullseye.
Yeah. Between them two. Yeah.
I'd say Knockouts is the best uncommon card from Series 1.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna throw this out here. And Blackheart is the new Autumn Queen. I thought I got away from that, damn it. Alright. So I was doing this most used skin, and I know you guys hate this, right? But
Interesting.
I thought this was interesting. If you look at this, and if you look at the skins out here, you can see there's only for Series 1 and Series 2, which have the rarest cracked ice cards,
Mhm.
there's less than like 10 that make the top 20. So like we
Mhm.
have Tigress, we have Zadie, C Series 3 doesn't count, Echo, Aura, Manic. So that's like what, 5 most
Yeah.
used, and then we have Dynamo. So you do top 25, and then we have Nogops and Skull Trooper. So there's very few skins that make the top 25 of all time most used.
Now, to round the argument, pull
Mhm.
up Blackheart's pop report.
Oh yeah, let's do that. I haven't even looked. I can't believe we're talking about Blackheart. Man, we're
Oh
covering
yeah.
every single skin there is, I swear.
Shar had that joint ready.
5. 5 tens.
He's at base.
Oh, you're talking about base? My bad. I was looking at
Yeah.
the shard. But who's sending in base? People are sending in base Blackhearts?
Yeah, bro. The
I
base in
mean,
series 1 is crazy.
huh?
The base in series 1 is crazy.
I mean, I have base. I Gold Trooper base over Blackheart base. Personally. Like what it like so
See, when
Black
it
Power
come
has
but I think
this is
when it
interesting. I
comes
want to see this. So
yeah.
Blackheart has 15 base in. How much does Gold Trooper have? 123 in. And only 9? You want to talk about like why
What?
are you wasting your time on Blackheart? That's crazy. I didn't realize that. That's kind of crazy. 123. What about Gold Trooper?
See,
Dang, 267.
but you see the thing is the set collecting though. It's only 2 black hearts.
Yeah, but only
That's
17 in. This is 267 in.
no, but I mean availability. That's where it comes to when it comes to set collectors is the availability of a card.
Yeah, but
And
if
that
there's 300 raw ones out there, they're probably just gonna send in some raw ones. Like, let me go to eBay.
next Friday I'll be talking about Flytrap.
I think is there none? Did I type that wrong?
I don't think so.
Panini Fortnite series. You know who was talking about this?
Who?
Wayne was talking about when he searches for Fortnite cards on eBay, it doesn't pop up. And this was happening to me with Jonesy for Reloaded.
What? Ooh. Ooh. Is it not on eBay?
No, I guarantee you there probably is. It's probably not the right search. Because like if you type in Reloaded Jonesy, it doesn't pop up either, I don't think. And there's definitely them on it. Did I spell it wrong? Oh, that's why. Come on, chat. You're supposed to catch me on this. So $15 there. There's a hollow.
But you gotta make sure it's USA
15 non-hollow.
and
That should be USA.
sending it raw to play that game. That's a rough one. It is interesting, bro. You can't deny that. That's interesting.
I mean, I there's gonna be over 300 available if you look at the pop report. Like if you look at Skull Trooper 267 sent in, and I have like 20 base Skull Troopers. I have I probably have some that'll hit a 10. Is everyone's legendaries that bad?
Legendaries is rough. I mean,
I have a whole bunch of like epics and legendaries,
mhm.
but like I'm not grading them and selling
See, and
them.
I think that that's but
But
that's
I
what I'm
did keep
saying.
them.
But
I
that's what
did
I'm
keep
saying.
them.
Yeah, like I think that's these conversations is what makes it unique because those are the things that come in a factor. If a skin is not relevant or popular in game, what is the pop report? What is the set collecting ability? Because a
Hmm.
lot of people love to collect sets. Like
Yeah.
is sets is usually the case and scenario for most collectors. Like I think over the past, I mean, somebody can correct me on this. Over the past 10 years, I would say like the heavy singles is a big thing. Like obviously it was a
Yep.
thing, but set collecting was usually the main way. So obviously you can go the nod to the PSA registry and all of that. But
And I
for
would
set
say
collectors, that would be interesting.
in this regard, Fortnite is gonna be more similar to sports than Pokemon. I feel like Pokemon would be more heavy set than sports because like people can be fans of a single person, like a single athlete, right?
Mhm.
I could see that being Fortnite too. I could see Fortnite relating to sports more than the Pokemon.
See,
But
but
I know they set collect in
yeah,
sports too. I'm not saying that. I was just
and
saying that I
yeah,
think singles is more important in Fortnite than they are in like Pokemon. That's all. I would think
mm,
anyway.
okay, okay. I see what you're getting at, but
I think both is important.
if
I think set
well,
collection in Fortnite's easy. Like it's so
yeah,
easy.
but with so many great cards, is set collecting more important than Fortnite? Like you get what I mean? Like because there's mainly there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Pokemon is top heavy from what I know, right? Like when it comes to the big cards, there's a
Hmm.
lot of great cards in Fortnite sets from series 1 to series 3, whatever set you want to talk about. Does that make it a more collectible set? You get what I mean?
Wait, say it one more time.
So because there's more cards, like
Hmm.
if we talk about any given set, there's a lot of great pulls in those sets, right?
Hmm.
Just based off of anything. Does that make it more collectible? Like, does that make set collecting more appealing compared to a market or a hobby that has a top heavy set? Like, it's like, okay, it's 1 to 5 cards. Like, if you look at Marvel, right? Marvel
Hmm.
is usually the Spider-Mans, the Iron Man's, Wolverine, and they it's top heavy, Captain America.
Yeah.
But Fortnite has a wider array of cards that's important.
Yeah.
So do that make it more of a collectible set? Like,
Yeah. I also think it kind of just is all around a more collectible set because of how the skins are released,
yeah.
like your locker ID and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Like when you think about Marvel, or even if you're talking about Marvel or sports or anything, like sports, you might only want to collect the team. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
may, there's in this Marvel, it's like, but for Fortnite, it's like, oh, they're all numbered. I mean, I know the other one's number two, but it's just like uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, kind of leads you to collect them. So I could see set collecting being a
Yeah,
huge
because
thing.
if we take the conversations that we had today, right?
Yep.
Let's go to the side that of the game, and then we
Hmm.
go to the side of the market. That's a major set if you have
Yep.
it, because you have the potential of what could happen when people realize what happens in game, and then you have of what's already happening in the market.
So
That's a pretty heavy set if you ask me. Having
so
that
maybe
preset.
maybe you need to think about how you collect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm a singles person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a strategy for single people. For people who collect singles, there's a strategy, right?
Right.
And like that's looking at usage and stuff like that, right? Like if you want to
Mhm.
play the game that I'm playing, like you looking at like fan base wise, I think that's smart. Now, if you're a set collector, you're gonna be looking at that pop report and doing what Shardnut does, looking for those gems and stuff like that. What's harder to grade? What pops up less often. I think that's like the best way for set collectors to collect.
But that
Because like,
also but also when it comes to low pop, that's what people will pull off the table because they know
yeah,
they are set collectors. So if
yeah,
you collect singles, like hypothetically speaking, you'll grab a Ice Queen that's a PSA 10 pop 3 because you know somebody eventually that's collecting a set will have
Well,
that.
you will
So,
because you're good at that. Yeah.
well, no, I'm just, yeah, yeah.
I just buy like what I collect. Like I don't
No,
try to get stuff to trade.
no, I'm talking about in general. Like
Hmm.
this is the way the hobby works in
Yeah,
general.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I get
And
what you're
and
saying.
I'm just, yeah, like I think that because it is a don't get me wrong, we're both on that side of what happens in game, but I think there's also that side of what was happened in the market over the past 3 years. Because now we have a lot more information. 2
Hmm.
years ago when everybody was having these stacks waiting to send them into PSA, BGS, and
Yeah.
SGC, everything was speculation. The speculation of the
I
game,
think everything
speculation.
still is
It,
speculation. If we're
but
talking about Series like 2,
no, but I'm
because
talking
like
about we have evidence of what's happened so far,
yeah.
though. You know what I mean? And what I mean is there's actual evidence of what is now compared to before. It was mostly just raw cards.
Hmm. No, no, and I think that's kind of where we are with Series 2. You saw how
Hmm.
many Series 2 cracked eyes hit the market from one person.
Hmm.
Like one seller just listed a whole bunch of Series 2.
Yeah.
So like we won't know the information on Series 2 for a
Hmm.
while because like you just said we're just now getting the information on Series 1.
Yeah.
Which I think affects set collectors way more. I have it easy. I know what skins I want, and those are the ones I buy. Set collectors have it harder, like Shardnock, who have to like look at all
Hmm.
these different factors and like PSA 10 pops, and they have to look at block hearts and stuff like that. Um,
And I
and
think
those are a great way to collect because like you get all those. That's like the complete master set sold for 178,000, 72,000.
so. Yeah, but I think 175, and then there was one for like 180 or something like that, 78, something around
Yeah,
that
so
line.
set collecting is a really valuable way to do it, and that probably is going to get like the most money if you can complete it. Um, so
See,
there's different ways to collect, I guess.
yeah, and even like this little part with Bob, because I think this is kind of where I fall in at. Um, I like to do subsets. Like,
Yeah.
so I did the international set of Lux, right?
Hmm.
That's fun to me. Like, okay, this is my card, this is my skin, and I want to complete the full set. Dang, wait, where's that Brazil? Where's that Italy PSA 10 at?
Hmm.
That's where that comes in at. So if you, because I think you said it like those collectors have it harder, but that might be that's the game for them. That's the fun part.
Oh
You
yeah,
get
I
a
know.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just saying they have a lot more information they have to look at. Like
but
for us who like singles, like if you're a Kobe fan,
that's
right?
scary too, though.
It is
It's
scary, but
scary
that's why
because
like we're ahead of time.
yeah,
But like you don't have to,
exactly,
you know what I mean? You
exactly.
know what you're looking for. You don't have to like figure out oh which cards are less printed less and stuff like that. Like Shardog is paying attention to that kind of stuff. Like what is gemming more?
Mm-hmm,
Like you're focused on the skins you want. But
mm-hmm,
like for set collectors, they have to look at all 300 cards,
mm-hmm.
figure out which ones are harder to get so they can get them now and
And
not
then it's
later.
yeah, and it's like I think that because that's what happened to me. I came in
Hmm.
this much too late, and it was like, yo, this is crazy. I couldn't believe what the cars that I wanted was selling for. And I'm like, okay, as somebody that wants specific cards, it's like this is gonna be tough. So I can't imagine if I would have came in now. I can't imagine, even though the market has went down, somebody, because like we all say, you have to get to the point. If you weren't a car collector before, you have to get to the point where you're willing to spend 200, $300, $400 on a card. That's a
Hmm.
lot of people are going to have to go through that may be collectors coming from the game, where where the other side, I mean, let's be real, the Fortnite market is pretty cheap. And that's where it's interesting when it comes to other sectors of the hobby.
Yeah, and it is like, I mean, we have like we want to talk about like there's inflation everywhere.
Hmm.
My girl's soccer team is charging 30% more this year because of inflation. Um, Meanwhile, cards are going down in price.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I appreciate you, Shardnock. Thanks for your forgiveness. I didn't apologize though, but I appreciate you. Oh my gosh, he's gonna beat me up on this for like the longest time. I'm gonna
Yeah,
find all my black hearts and send them to Shardnock.
yeah. And this is yeah, this is something that I pay attention to a lot when it comes to like so Marvel is like Marvel cards is like character collectors, and they collect the sets from top to bottom. and that makes it very interesting because I think it's a lot of similarities between those two. But seeing how many years that they have in the game compared to us, like JL is getting to, is you know the economy really plays into this because Fortnite has done very well. It's done very well through the economy, like even with the downs of the economy. The fact that any of these cards is at the price that they are with no backing, no marketing, nothing,
Hmm.
that's insane. It's
Yeah, I
insane.
mean, and the fact that most players don't know about it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's who we're talking about most of the time. When we're talking
Yep.
about like who would collect these, it's going to be the players, and they don't know about this.
Yep.
Like none of them.
And the resistance of the others because what's crazy is well it's not crazy because it's a thing but the same thing happens when it comes to people saying Fortnite when it comes to dead game, all of those narratives,
Hmm.
same thing happens with the Fortnite cards when it comes to other parts of the hobby. People like, are you really collecting Fortnite cards? Or a banana sold for X amount. They still see it as this laughing type thing, and it's just like, yeah, we laughing too. Like, you know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
mean, when
It's
they did the
like,
same thing about Pokemon, and now it's
yeah,
so cool to
yeah,
collect Pokemon. Like it's not taboo anymore. And Fortnite is easily not as like childish as Pokemon.
yeah.
Easily. So
Shire, I can actually rant about this because I've been paying attention a lot to this because, like I said, it's so interesting to me. But man, them green PMGs out of 10, that those sets is crazy. And seeing the people that did have those sets back then or sold them at the peak or A, B, and C, it's some collectors that have the YouTube channel and just listening to their conversations because I listen to all the other podcasts as well just to hear what people are talking about. It's crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, set collectors are crazy in my opinion.
Exactly.
I just
Ex-
think if you're set collecting right now, trying to like complete a master set of like series one, I'm just like
Yeah.
I can't. I it's
Yeah.
like all the power to you. And then you got the ones who try and get them all graded.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's dedication. And I mean,
Yeah,
I
it is.
dedicate a lot to Fortnite. That's straight up dedication right there. I mean,
Mhm.
that's insane. I take the easy route and just collect my favorites.
Mhm.
So it's hard for me to judge because you guys are knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, that set collecting is different. That's
Yeah,
different.
it's
It's I mean,
as someone who's
just
ripped thousands and thousands of Series One packs
mhm.
to like complete base sets,
Mhm.
try to complete hollow. I mean, not even try to, but like how many hollows I pulled.
Yeah. Because like I mean, and the people that I talked to throughout the week, like including Shower, like I remember back when me and Eduardo used to do transactions like 2 years ago. He was trading so heavy to complete the hobby set. I mean, the hollow set, and it's like because it was is that hard. Like it's like you gotta, as you know, when you set
Mhm.
collecting more than not, you're trading
Yeah.
extremely heavy, and it's a grind for sure. I mean, the series one 300, that's different. That's different.
Wait, when you say base range, so you're talking about the screenshots too?
If they're collecting just the set, yeah, and then I guess when you get to the
Is it
crystal
worth
shards.
is
Mhm.
it worth completing the screenshot set for set collectors?
I think so. If somebody
You
wants
think so?
everything, yeah, I think it's one of those things where if it's easy to at that, you know what I mean? Like at that time, it was like, uh,
Is there is there another hobby that we can compare to that has such throwaway cards as this? Those screenshots are the most throwaway collectible cards I've seen. Is there another hobby that has
mhm,
something as throwaway? Because at least sports, they're just like non-good players, right? You don't have like straight up trash.
yeah, I
I'm
that
honestly I'm honestly
no, yeah, I'm
curious.
trying to think about it too. Is mm,
I mean,
yeah.
that's like unidentified area right there. Like that's undiscovered area.
Bob said any trading card game, so like the Pokemons, the Magic the Gatherings,
I know they have like 70% or
Dragon Ball
80% bulk, but
Super.
are they as bad? Because like I know like Pokemon has like the
Ooh,
items and stuff.
70 to 80%. Ugh.
I know that a lot of them are bulk, but
Oh, the
Pokemon
energy
energy
cards.
cards.
Yeah.
Okay, but is there 100 of those? Maybe there is. I don't know. Yeah, maybe Pokemon energy cards. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean,
JL
people
said,
do, but do people set collect those energy cards? I assume so.
I think so.
Yeah.
But to your point, that's also unique because it's a part of the game.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know how that works. That's out of my realm. Jake, he said 3K shiny. Oh, geez.
You think it will be? I mean, y'all gonna hate me. I throw those away. Those screenshots, I
You
just throw
throw the
them away.
screenshots away?
I opened up so many cards. Like
Yeah.
I rated like 10 5 and belows for the fat packs.
Mhm.
Like I just couldn't keep them all. There's like no way I'm keeping the screenshots.
Yeah. I got them stored away. Got them stored away. I just packaged them all up from them NOI cards.
Yeah, Bob's like, it's like you have the full set graded or you don't.
Yeah. Which is crazy. That's crazy.
I mean,
That's
I
insane.
get it. I get the concept of it. It's just it is kind of crazy, right? It's
Because
like,
well, it's what's nuts is that it's not even nuts. It's the original way. That is the original way it was done. Like you collected
yeah.
the set. And so like sets becoming larger in numbers is like if you were always a set collector, you just can't turn your head away. It's like it's natural, like the way we naturally go after the skins we want is like, yo, I have to have the full set, and that's a tough
See, it's
task.
crazy to me that people don't like Reloaded, but they'll save those screenshots. That's kind of crazy to me.
I mean, it's see for me, reloaded is the loading screen cards. That's the big hitter for me personally.
Reloaded is what?
Is the loading screen cards. Those are that is like that's my thing from the reloaded. Like I like
Oh,
those
you
a
like
lot.
the loading screen cards.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I like those too.
Uh,
Those are my favorite.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I don't set collect Shard Knock, and if you need a black heart base, I'll look. I don't think you do though. I think you're good, but
Yeah, I think
I
he got
can
the
look.
full legendary set, I
I
think.
think he does too.
Yeah.
Um, I have a lot of mine sleeved and put away, but
Yeah, this is this is like yeah.
everyone. It wasn't just us trashing those. Ever since the beginning, all the videos were like, "What are these?" They're just like so bad. I mean, I get it. Just like I
Mhm,
talk about Reloaded, like anything that everyone throws away
mhm,
has a chance to be like, "Oh shit, everyone threw these away, so no one cared about them." And then you find like a scene where some famous gamer was in it and they
mhm.
killed someone. It was legendary. They have the video to go along with the screenshot.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that that can happen. Um, so no, I get that.
Yo, JL, I love, if you don't know, I love the ready to jump stickers. It's something that I like it a lot. I have so many of those stored away as well. Like those
I
is
have none of them, and like
that
I
that was
keep
fun
seeing some. I'm like they're kind of cool, but then I'm like,
yeah. It was fun just going to random Family Dollars and Five Belows and just grabbing the whole box. Like it was just you just grabbed the whole
yeah. I was
thing.
going to dollar stores and I was buying like the actual packs, looking for hollows, looking for Black Knight Hollow to sell.
But this is when that was cleaned out. All that was left was those.
Yeah.
So you just would go get the whole box and then you just have them set aside.
I just remember sports having the same ones and like they were never anything like decent. So
They had, but you see, I always look at sports. Sports have way more options. It's no
yeah,
reason for you to go to a Family Dollar when it comes to sports.
yeah.
It's
I'm just
like,
talking about like the sticker wise for like sports.
but now the soccer market, if you want
Yeah,
to,
the stock market's different.
their stickers
That's
first.
all they do is like stickers pretty much.
Mhm. Yeah, that
See, now people talk about the loading screens all the time, which I love. Y'all know I have a whole picture frame of them. Rocket Ride is one of my favorite cards.
mhm.
But the moving ones, we have Calamity, we have Fish Sticks, and
Crystal.
like, and yeah, and Crystal. But like talking about just skin wise, because
Hmm.
Crystal's an emote,
Hmm.
but she is on the card.
Her
They're
and
pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah, and I think that and I mean,
Now, I don't know, financially Reloaded would not. I mean, Reloaded actually is not that cheap
but it's definitely easier than Series One.
to get all the cards. Yes, but to gem mint them, I don't know. There's also more cards. I don't know. That would be interesting.
I
Maybe
like the
I'll do that. I'm gonna get a gem 10 of the entire Reloaded, and I'll knock Shard Knocks set. I'll have the only one. I'm gonna knock Shard Knocks set out of the water. It's like no, I'm sticking to Renegade Raider for right now. I'm just trying to get those gems. Forget
Mhm.
trying to gem that whole set because like what is it like? 300 and God, I don't even know how many cards there are in Reloaded. I can't remember. It's over 300, right?
Yeah, JL. This is for the JL. You talk about for the stickers, right? Yeah, that BK and Galaxy for sure. Like that was the ones right there. Bro.
They do stand out, especially graded. They look amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That
I don't know print. I don't know how the print run works on them or anything.
yo, we need. Here, we'll talk. I think I just thought of. I thought of something.
You
I
thought of an
thought of.
idea? All right, all
Yep,
right.
I
Don't
thought of something.
forget. Don't
I'm not.
forget.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I thought of something.
I'm. Are there any auras? Are there any aura sticker cards?
No, no, or unfortunately, no Lux
Ghoul
either.
Trooper, Pink Ghoul Trooper.
No Pink Ghoul Trooper. Well, we're just talking about the 2019 Ready to Jump. I don't know if it's in the other sets
Mm.
because I know the gold frame. People,
If there's an aura sticker, I'll get it.
people have been opening. I think it is an Aura one in the gold frame, if I'm not mistaken. The gold
Let me
frame
know if anyone
series.
has the stickers. If there is an aura, maybe I'll try that out. No, the Reloaded is definitely. It's just
Yeah,
from
them
what I've
joints, them
opened.
cards is
It's
whoo, them cards is rough.
Yeah, and somebody sent in 25 Renegade Raiders. I think it was Famous. I'm
Yeah,
waiting for that to pop up in the pop report
yeah,
because like we won't really know. So like if you don't know how to check the pop report, just go to FortniteCards.com. Go to Fortnite Reloaded under here and just click this button because it's kind of broken in the search. So there's only been 92 cards graded. So that's a very small like amount to go off.
yeah,
But based on experience when I'm ripping packs, so much is damaged. That's why we think it's gonna be harder to grade.
yeah.
Renegade Raider, which is the best card of that set, right now it's at a 10% or less than 10% because one got a 8.5. So less than 10% gem rate. I want to see once Famouses goes through. I think his should pop up soon. That's be 25. I send at least 10. That should get us close to about 50 Renegade Raiders on PSA. So
Hmm.
then we can really see how hard it is to grade these Renegade Raiders. So I'd say in this next week or 2 weeks.
Yeah,
There's no pink gold trooper
yeah. It
waiting.
is in golden frame. It is.
There's a pink gold trooper?
Yes,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
it is. I watched Bradley's rip this week.
I didn't. Is there one for sale? I need a picture of this, guys. I need to see this.
Bro, you gotta wait for Bradley to post it.
Come on, Bradley. What the heck, man? Where's this pink gold trooper? I need to see it.
Do anybody have the checklist for that?
Oh, it's a
But
two card picture.
that's kind of dope.
Yeah, do
How
we
do you
have a
send that in the?
checklist for that? Oh, so is it gonna look like this?
Yeah,
Yo, that's pretty dope. The gold frames look the best. I'm not gonna lie, those are.
I like the gold frames.
Now I have no idea about values for stickers. It's not investment advice for stickers. They do look kind of cool. I have no idea how they're gonna perform against cards.
Yeah,
Um,
Bob, I feel you on this, especially on the Bombers front. Demi too. I love Demi. Demi is a fire skin too. Oh my gosh, yo.
so actually, I was talking about this with Black Ash. There's actually more skins in Reloaded that I wasn't even thinking about
Mm-hmm.
that haven't come into the item shop for 1,000 days.
Mm-hmm.
There was one I forget. You know the one with the mask, the bird mask. Forget its name. But anyway, it didn't
I know what
like
you're talking about. Yeah.
when it came back into the shop. Twitter was going crazy and everyone was buying it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that made me think about Reloaded because there's skins in there that haven't come out in the other sets.
Which
And
that
getting
is,
skins of
yeah.
those would be good too.
Which that is fickle, by the way. The only
It is
one that's
fickle.
only one that stood the test of time, besides like the OG ones, was Zadie. Zadie didn't come out for a full year, and then when
Hmm.
she came back out, she withstood time. But it wasn't too many that did that. But
If Rue
that's
comes back,
Rule comes back. Yeah, that one's
yeah,
gonna
if Rue
pop.
comes back, yeah, thank you, Black
Plague.
Ash
Yeah,
Plague. Yeah.
yeah.
And I rock Plague now because I was waiting for that skin to come back. I bought that one.
Really, that joint is ugly.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Plague is trash.
Plague is trash.
Plague is
So
trash,
if you've
bro.
learned anything tonight, is not to listen to Rob. Gotta-
Plague is trash, bro. Come on now.
Are you kidding me? She is
No,
fire.
that's why it took 1,000 days for her to come back out.
Nah, Plague right here, guys. This right here, this skin is fire. Don't fake on Plague. This one is fire.
It's a
This
fire
one,
card.
I could not care
It's a
about.
fire card.
No, the skin is fire. I rock that joint. Don't be messing with Plague. Actually, I should look up her Fortnite GGs before I talk good about it.
Why?
See, yeah, Chick Plague is dope, right, Chartnot?
No, yeah, both wrong.
No, we ain't.
All three of y'all.
Hardcore Switzerland.
All three of y'all. In Birdman's words.
The guy Plague is not. Yeah, he's trash. Say all time. Plague. Oh, what was her name? What's the female name? That's not even her name.
Just find her.
I was gonna type it in. I don't know what the name is.
You don't know it because it's trash.
No, it's just because I just got it. I don't
I
know the
know.
name.
I know. That 1,000 days vaulted be having people tripping, boy. That drink, listen, I remember when that skin came out. That drink was doing nothing. That drink is
What's the name?
find fit. What's the
What's
name,
the
y'all?
name?
What's the name of this dope skin? Can somebody please help us? Please. What's the name of this fire skin?
It is fire.
There we go. Bob got it. Scourge. There it is.
Thank you. How am I supposed to remember that?
Thank you, Bob. You
That's
saved
such
the
an
day.
unmarketable name. See, this is what I'm talking about, though. Like, who's gonna go and like type in Blackheart if they don't remember the name? Like, who's gonna type in Scourge?
Yo, I can always depend on Dill. Like, yo, that joint is trash, bro.
Shit is fugly. Oh yeah, well people disagree because look at this bump.
Oh, they didn't. It just got. This is the 1,000 days. We'll see where it go after that.
So after 1,000 days, it jumped up to 122.
Look where it was at in his. Nah,
I
no.
like it.
I know you do. Yo,
I don't like
I
the
already
nail
got a
skin.
point to this one. Look at it.
No, Plague is. I don't care about Plague. I was talking about the female one, and I'm not saying this one's gonna pop off or anything. I was just saying I personally like it. Let's see what the stats say here. 3,000 likes. See, look, that's pretty good. Wish list 8,000. That's pretty decent.
This skin is so bad, bro. Like,
what's wrong with this skin? It's fire.
Yeah, it was though. That was the main reason. It was a toxic like waste type thing, and it was too similar to COVID, so they scrapped that drink. That's the real reason why it didn't come out.
He said, for everyone still here, Dylan hates on Black Knight, so hating on Blackheart means the stock should go up. You tell me. If you guys follow stocks and stuff, there's like this thing where like there's a Kramer fund, and if you go against what Kramer buys, it goes up. So like everyone's like, it's like the anti Kramer fund. So Black Ash is starting I'm not Black Ash. Shardnuck is starting the anti Dylan fund. So anything I trash, buy. That is not investment advice. That's Shardnuck's advice. Just saying.
JL. So I'm gonna keep this very frank with you, real quick. It's literally like, for instance, I'm gonna rattle off some of mine. So I originally started off with Bandolier from Series 3. Bandolier was like the first main skin that I rocked. Then it went to then it was Still Sight. Still Sight was out of the shop for a while because nobody buys her, so they had her out for like 500 days. Then Lux came out, and everything else after that, it was some in between there. I can't remember what I was like, obviously like the Skull Troopers, but it wasn't too much. But I'm gonna be frank with you. It's some outfits, if you don't understand, if you don't get this one, the view of some male skins I'd rather not deal with. I'm gonna be honest. It's just in certain situations, it's just weird. But especially like tight fitted outfits. So that's it. It's just a personal preference for me.
You don't like to
No,
play
I'm
with this
good,
skin?
bro. I'm Gucci.
You don't like this skin?
No, Silver. No, I like Silver Surfer, the superhero, but I'm not,
You
even
don't want to play with it.
Um, oh man, yeah. But yeah, that's. I won't go too much. I won't go too much farther than that. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
won't go much.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, there's also the fact that the female skins are skinnier and it makes it feel like you're playing better. Um,
Carnage is even worse. Oh my god.
I actually never I actually had Silver Surfer and I've played with him before. I really like the
I know,
metallic in the
JL.
skin, but then when I saw the butt the whole time, I was like, I can't wear this
You
skin.
can't do it. Like,
I was like,
bro, you
I
know what,
can't
like
wear this muscly naked man for more than like one match. I was like, I gotta put this up because the Silver Surfer is vicious, right? The character itself is vicious.
Sharp, we're not doing this, bro. we're not we're not doing you know
Should
what what is that, 12:35?
he's actually alien, right? So I don't know if he can. I thought this was we're cancel.
I
Wait.
guess it
Wait, I didn't say anything. Why are you canceling me? I have that skin. Come on now.
Yo, not doing it, not doing it.
Yeah, I mean this is a good one. It's easier to see. It's hard to see.
Yeah.
Backtracking. All right. On that note, we're gonna have to cancel this episode and delete
Cancel
it.
it.
It's getting late, y'all. Shardock's about to get out of control. He's about to start firing me up.
Oh my goodness.
So thank you guys for chilling with us.
We
Instead of playing
appreciate y'all,
Fortnite's
y'all.
new season.
Yeah, we
Please like,
appreciate it.
subscribe, comment about what I said wrong and what you guys think is trash. Um, Shark says go buy Blackheart.
Yo, oh, y'all funny. We
All right, guys.
appreciate y'all. Have a good one, y'all.